Kaboom.
Kaboom. What's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? Welcome back to another podcast with Josh and myself. This is the most we've ever had people waiting in the lobby. 1,300 of you waiting. Sorry we're late. We're having technical difficulties. And sorry it's a day later. So we have probably the biggest episode to talk about today. I want to give a major shout out to this book. Dude, really cool stories in here. I was listening to the audiobook last night, narrated by Sam Witwer, on Palpatine's vision of, I'm not going to spoil it, but it was his vision of probably one of the coolest fan fictions that you could think of regarding The Empire Strikes Back at the very end with two important people. So I'm going to make a video on it probably tomorrow or the next day, so you guys can look out for that.
That's sweet.
Dude, what's going on?
Not too much, man. This obviously the huge news that we're going to talk about. You know, we're going to get into that as well. But we didn't get a chance to talk about the latest episode of The Mandalorian. Kind of a little bit of a divisive episode. I think we fell on different sides of that, so it might be interesting to talk about that.
Let's talk about that for sure. Do you want to talk about the first, or are we going to talk about the biggest juiciness?
Well, we can just talk about the man. We can just go Mando real quick. We can do quick. Right. I just fell on the side where I really liked it. I thought the Frog Lady's character was awesome. I think she's like a low key like wet work ninja. And so I actually liked her a lot. I thought the episode wasn't obviously as crazy as episode 1, but I didn't think it was necessarily filler. But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, I just want to get on to the Okay. Okay, so whoo. You ready, Internet? All right. The sequel trilogy by George Lucas.
Yes.
There have been millions of videos, including I've made a video a long time ago, how it's supposed to be about a girl named Kira and blah, 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 this and that. Apparently that's not even the case. Apparently maybe that's just the Disney treatment that George had given them. But supposedly the original treatment is from one of his, I believe, close friends and a writer of Lucasfilm who has written several books on the original trilogy and sequel trilogy, named Paul Duncan. We actually reached out to Josh reached out to his, who is he?
I reached out to
his agent?
The publisher.
Right.
Yeah, the publisher, and I got in touch with somebody that does interviews, a lady named Mallory. She seemed pretty excited about the possibility of us actually getting to interview him, which would be great.
Yeah.
And then I talked to him a little bit on Twitter as well, but I think he's getting blown up right now a little bit more than I think he even expected.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because I mean, besides our own fans, like the officials don't know. They don't know about us. They have more important things to do than go on YouTube. But in this book, which I have gone on to order now, and so has Josh, just to do more extensive research. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Dude, I don't even know where to start. Do you want to take it away?
Well, I think the place I want to start, because this is going to be really crazy. We're going to get into... Yeah, it's really crazy, and we're going to get into a lot of different things. Yeah. And the one thing I wanted to say before we get too far into it is just that I know that right now Star Wars is actually in a really good place, and people are very positive on Mando, and I think we're heading towards some really cool stuff, Filoniverse, et cetera, et cetera. And so some people, when I was talking about this story, had this reaction of like, let's not reopen old wounds. You know, do we keep having to talk about the sequel trilogy, et cetera, et cetera? And I get that. And so I just want to say that, like, we're going to try to remain positive about Star Wars. I'm not saying, like, hey, retcon the sequels and that this should be done in their stead. But this is, at the very least, incredibly interesting. I don't want to lie to you. I would have much rather seen this, and I want to just be able to talk about that as a fan. So it's not personal. This isn't an attack. We're not trying to crap all over the sequels. But this is a huge story. And so we want to talk about this, and we want to sort of nerd out about how cool we think this would have been. And that's pretty much the opening to that I would say to it.
Okay, so do you want me to tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, in this book about the prequels, George Lucas, by Paul Duncan, George Lucas had the treatment for the sequels written. It had nothing to do with what we know about Kira or anything like that. That's irrelevant. In the book, it states that Darth Maul, the Empire is dead, Episode 6 is done. In Episode 7, Darth Maul returns, and he has trained his apprentice, Darth Talon. You guys may remember Darth Talon from Legends. He is the new reigning supreme. He is so happy that Palpatine failed, this and that, and he is now the new big bad in the galaxy, and he has returned with his apprentice, Darth Talon. Luke has gone around, and out of the 100,000 Jedi who have been around before Order 66, he's amassed maybe 50 to 100 of them post Order 66, where it's going to take about 20 years over this sequel trilogy, where he has to train them and turn them into Jedi Knights, or maybe even Jedi Masters, depending how skilled they are.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up a quote on the screen from Paul Duncan on his Twitter. It's right here, as we can see. He says, and this is posted on Reddit as well, more info from the author of the book. This is what George Lucas told him about the sequels in 2019. Leia was the chosen one, according to Lucas. So Leia was actually supposed to be the chosen one in the end. And
yeah.
This is according to George. And how that works, Josh, you want to explain it?
Yeah, so, okay, there's a couple of different things. There's a picture of the actual excerpt from the book, and it's like this last punch-on thing that George kind of adds to it. So I don't know. We can sort of go down that rabbit hole if you want. But then when asked about it again on Twitter, Paul sort of further explains what he thought George was talking about. And basically it's all about bringing balance is essentially rebuilding the galaxy in the wake of this crazy war, right?
Yeah.
And so in that sense, Leia was going to be the chosen one. But regardless, I think something that was still implemented, or at least would have been implemented had Carrie not passed, in the sequel trilogy was Leia's very important. You know what I mean? And she was going to help put things back together. So, that's potentially a whole nother rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
With the chosen one prophecy. But I think that's what George was getting at.
Yeah, they basically said that, Leia is going to be the chosen one. Someone on the replies to Paul was like, what, how, like, that doesn't really make sense. That kind of retcons what George wanted. And so he said, well, essentially the gist of it, and I'm going to read it verbatim here. At the end of a war, everything is broken and society needs to be put together and healed so that it can work again. The chosen one is the person who brings balance by achieving this.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how I feel about, changing the whole chosen one thing.
Well, remember when
but I mean, I think there are different chosen ones for different eras.
Yeah, exactly, because a lot of people think in some ways that Luke is the chosen one. So even when Maul dies on Tatooine in Obi-Wan's arms, he asks Obi-Wan if he is the chosen one, right? And then Obi-Wan says he is. Now, it's not directly said there, but it's kind of implied that Obi-Wan views Luke as the chosen one.
Yeah.
Not Anakin, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, the way I see it, either way, it's Anakin, because Anakin's the Force birth, and sort of like Leia and Luke are sort of progenies from him. So like, to me, it works. I'll tell you this, it works way better than Rey out of nowhere Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, ding the bell, put $1 in the jar. You know what I mean? But that's how I feel.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily hate that aspect of it, and I think regardless, like, Leia's a very important character. And this is interesting because we've heard some things about how George may have wanted Leia to be a Jedi, and then she would have been even more powerful than Luke. But it would appear in this that is not at all what happens. That Leia is, well, and this is another point.
Supreme
this is
Chancellor.
Just plot points, so we don't know. But yeah, so to speak, she's really, I think, staying on the political side.
Yeah.
Of things. So I'm not necessarily too upset about the chosen one thing, but it would have been interesting.
We would have seen Luke as a Grand Master, opening up a school, bringing Jedi in together from Order 66. Probably could have gotten them, telling so many different stories.
Yeah.
Would have been cool, man.
Oh, dude. Like, okay. So one of the things that would have been crazy about that is the way I read it, because there's this other document that's literally like a sort of a picture of his thing, which I'll send it to you on Twitter right now. But there's this part in there where they said that, like, essentially Luke would find these Jedi that were left over, but then
Yeah.
he'd also be recruiting like children. And so he'd have like sort of children, and then it wouldn't be until 20 years later that like that group of children was ready
Right.
to then occupy the galaxy, sort of bring peace and do what the Jedi had done before, right?
Right.
That would have been.
And we'll have so much more information once that book arrives.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's already ordered, it's shipped, it's coming. So
yeah, I think it's going to be a gold mine of content, and I'm really surprised that I had never heard of this guy before.
Yeah, never.
The other one's apparently crazy good as well.
What do you think about Luke fighting Maul?
So the way I read it too is that Maul. So I think Maul would have been more. I do think he eventually would have turned up, and then Luke would have fought him, and that would have been incredible. But the way I sort of read it is that at first Maul is sort of in the shadows, and he's sort of building like through the gangsters, almost like what we see in Rebels. It's very interesting. This is almost what we see in Rebels with Maul, and then again hinted at for Solo, and a potential future that was going to happen in the Solo trilogy if there was going to be one, right?
Yeah.
Where Maul is consolidating power, sort of this godfather-like figure, but he still, of course, has the Sith training, he has the Force abilities, and he has a literal apprentice.
Yeah.
And that would have been incredible. Here's the other thing: this Twi'lek apprentice of his, dude, she's a bombshell. And from what I was reading online, like George liked her, and he liked her in all the
legend stuff.
Well, in like a very sexual way. Like he thought it was awesome that she was just this hot ass Twi'lek Sith warrior that was just crazy. It's like he just thought it was great. And so you could potentially see how Disney was like, I don't know.
And then maybe they pitched us with like, no, he was going to talk about the Force and midi-chlorians and all that. It's like, well, was he? Like, well, who's saying that? Whose mouth is saying that?
So that is exactly the thing. Because number one, let me ask you this: have you ever heard anything like this with the Maul and Talon stuff for the sequels? Dude, me neither. There are people out there, and I just saw some people on Twitter saying that this had been known about for years. I've never heard this, never, and I'm like, this is my thing.
Yeah, we're sweaty. I mean? Like, yeah,
dude, I've never heard anything even close to this. Okay, so this is crazy. So the questions start piling up. Number one, what is the deal with this micro midichlorian thing? Okay, now I was trying to find that interview. I found a different interview where George was talking. It was the Charlie Rose interview where he said the slaver comments or whatever. But in that interview, he says that he wanted to tell a story that was more about family and generational. And Disney said they wanted to make something more for the fans. So I don't know. Like, how do you read that?
How'd that turn out?
Like, well, this is the question. How, if this is what they got turned into them, okay, if this is what Iger bought with Maul and Talon and Luke, how on earth did they say no to these outlines?
It's a big if. I got to say, then they're insane.
They're insane. How? Like, the only thing I can think of is that maybe they were so afraid of the prequel backlash. You know what I mean? That they were like, oh, the prequels. And JJ doesn't like the prequels, as we've talked about before.
Yeah, man, so why? What the hell?
Like, I don't know, man. But that's the only thing I can think of, right? Is like maybe Disney, because there's something else George said in that interview where he says, I had looked at the movies that I had recently made and realized they were costing the company money. And I think just from some stuff that I've heard from behind the scenes, he's not talking about the prequels as much as he's talking about Clone Wars and some other projects that were passion projects for him. And he was dumping so much money into Clone Wars, and it was technically losing the company money. That maybe that weighed into the decision that like Disney just made sort of a more marketing decision, and they said, we just can't risk prequel malignment, stopping people from going to see these movies. That's the only thing I can think of.
Ironic. Look what happened
Right?
now. Look what happened now. Yeah.
Dude, totally ironic. Because now they should be looking back and being like, "Oh my God, we should have done this." Like this is
Jesus.
because this would have been, like, dude, this would have been so cool. Like, talk about a change of pace.
That's some real. That dude. If this is real, like, well, I mean, it is real. I mean, the guy he's rewrote it in a Lucasfilm published Star Wars book about the freaking prequels, and he's written one about the originals. I mean, like, these massive books, they're like each like $200.
Oh, and this is important too. This is from an interview he had with George from 2019. So some people out there are like, "Oh, well, maybe this was one of his original ideas, and then he changed it to this." No,
dude, this was last year.
This was given to him last year. George Lucas, out of his mouth, said this was what the next trilogy was going to be like. So, sorry, just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, dude, I can't even imagine going to the theater and, like, seeing, like, an old Maul and, like, a Grandmaster Luke, bringing together Jedi from Order 66, going around the galaxy trying to hunt them down. And it's a story about Luke, it's about Luke and Leia and perhaps the children of Skywalker, which would be, the children that he mentions here of these new Jedi that have survived.
And no First Order, okay? And instead you have Imperial remnants. Now, this is going to get into some of the stuff we're going to talk about with, Mando and Filoniverse. But you would have had Imperial warlords having, like, a Game of Thrones battle over who's actually taking over. And then there's the Republic, because here's the other side of this. We, in The Force Awakens, just get jumped into the situation. We have no idea the state of politics in the galaxy. We see Hosnian Prime for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
We have no idea what's going on in the galaxy. This would have been completely different, where we're watching the New Republic literally form and go after Imperial remnant cells, which would have been amazing. And all the while, it's like Leia, like I can imagine sort of like Leia trying to put the pieces together, trying to consolidate power and shut this stuff down. And there's like these threats, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, what is going on with this? And then you find out it's freaking Maul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's got this apprentice.
The apprentice of Sidious. The apprentice of the one who was just killed. And
yeah, dude.
We could see more ghosts of Anakin. We could see more ghosts of the Jedi.
Yeah. Would have been sick, dude. Because there's the other side of this. George says 20 years of new Jedi, right?
Yeah.
But he puts like massive gaps in the pre. What's the time gap in the
it'll be 7 it'll be 7 years if you were to make this sequel trilogy, it would have been 7 years, in between each movie, if you want to do like an equal separation between each other.
Right.
I mean,
so you could get there.
You
so
could do the first
like,
two like in tandem, and then the next
and
one
then
like freaking
time jump, and then have
19
younger
years
Jedis,
later.
yeah, Padawan, stuff like that, which would have been a great launching off point and a true way to sort of pass the baton. You know what I mean? This would have been an incredible way to pass the baton, as opposed to obviously what we got. But yeah,
chat, what do you think? There's over 4,000 of you here, which is really cool. I think that's the most we've had.
Damn, that is
pretty neat.
Wild.
Yeah, it's wild. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
We'll get to super chats in a bit. We'll get to all your comments in a bit. We're still having fun, mulling this over and talking about it. So, Maul would be pretty old at this point.
He would be. Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty much. We saw him right before Episode 4, pretty much. So at this point,
a baby Luke.
Well, he would only be like 3 years older.
Yeah, true.
4 years older.
True. And then
he'd be
what's
fine.
the time? Yeah, he'd be fine. Yeah, he would function. I mean, and plus he's like, I mean, look, they brought Palpatine back from, you know what I mean? Like
he's like hanging off this thing and like gnarled up like
that. Yeah. We can figure this out with Maul, So yeah, no, he would have been pretty old, but he would have been powerful as well. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, and the thing with Maul is that he was so invested in power and so invested in these Sith artifacts, as we saw in Rebels, which I imagine that they drew inspiration from, or that of course George would create things like that, and so would the team. Filoni would be on this too, I imagine, which would be so cool, right? So we could imagine we would get similar things from Rebels and so on and so forth. To put into this sequel trilogy, where Maul would be seeking out all these like Sith holocrons and these artifacts, possibly ways to prolong his life or de-age himself somehow, or draw more on the dark side so he could be stronger. I don't know.
Dude, okay, let me just pitch something crazy. Like, this is what I would have done.
Yeah.
What if Maul, much like what happens with Ezra, what if he would have taken one of Luke's students, and then we have sort of like a Kylo or a Jason Solo kind of situation, but with Darth Maul pulling the strings on that young guy or girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought like, oh, maybe he could be, Talon could be like Ezra or something.
Yeah.
Or he would have another Ezra.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because the Emperor did that too, because they always have a couple in their pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A couple of a few side apprentices, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Always had your apprentice bets when it comes to the dark side, I guess.
Yeah, just in case. You never know.
Yeah. But dude, that would have been incredible. I hear, and I don't know much about Talon. I love Twi'leks. Like, I love Twi'leks. And let me just say, I love Twi'leks the same way George loves Twi'leks, but it's a family show.
Well,
so
I mean, he put him in Jabba's palace as the slaves, as the sensual slaves. So I mean,
you ever see the thing where Boba walks in and dabs the one on the chin?
In
return.
Yeah.
That's my guy. No, that would have been awesome. And I would have really liked that to see that though. Like, cause we always talk about like strong women characters or whatever like that.
Absolutely.
But this is like a talent. This would have legit been one. And honestly, like, I like sex appeal with my strong woman character. I don't think they need to be separate or,
I mean, women, well, why not? Sex appeal is a huge thing in life. And, there's no shying away from that. And women love it when it's, a hot guy and, in all these different shows and movies. And so. Dude, we like the same thing.
Wouldn't that have been so crazy different than what we got? Like her, because like I imagine she would have been ruthless. Like that's the thing. Like she would have been the one cutting off heads of the people, the characters we like. Yeah. Showing up here doing this crazy thing, like being a total and complete badass. That would have been really incredible to see. And I think that just speaks to one of the big things that the sequel trilogy was really missing is that Kylo is really not a villain. So he doesn't really provide the same thing Vader did in the original trilogy, right? And that is just that's sort of just a troubling navigating factor with narrative, right? Yeah. I think Talon would have really helped that, man. Really would have helped that.
I think she would have been really cool. Really ruthless and just badass in general. I mean, you have to be Maul's apprentice. Now, what I'd be most interested in, I think, is, that could be one side of the story. And the other side would be Luke basically finding a new Sith academy, creating a new Sith academy with a new temple, new... where do you think Jedi, he would... Right? Yeah. No, he would have a new temple, no?
Well...
To train these Jedi.
Oh, you're talking about Maul, or...
No, Luke.
Oh, you said Sith temple, though.
Did I?
Yeah. You said Sith temple, right? Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe he would.
Maybe he would. Yeah. No, he would have a new Jedi temple, absolutely. I mean, he'd probably just have it on Coruscant, right?
You got me thinking too much of Talon right now, so that's why I'm thinking Sith temple. Yeah.
But yeah, wouldn't he just go back? Because I don't think that they destroyed the temple. Because there's scenes in Tarkin that talk about, because there was an ancient Sith temple there, right? Coruscant has like a Force thing or whatever, because there was a Sith temple there, then there was a Jedi temple there. So
the Sith temple was supposedly underneath,
right?
And they built it on top,
right? So I would assume Luke would probably just come back to Coruscant and reopen up the Jedi archives, literally, like, dude.
Or he goes to Yavin,
like Cobra Kai. When Johnny like boots up the lights and like gets the studio ready, like scenes like that with Luke, dude, cool. like scrubbing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there,
cool. Yeah.
He's like thinking of Jocasta and oh man. Whew, that would have been nice.
I think this would have been a really cool trilogy, sequel trilogy.
Dude, I mean, like, and this is the thing too. You want to talk about something crazy? Is like, this is exactly what Kanye said. This is exactly what Kanye was talking about, where it's like even the prequels. This speaks so beautifully to exactly what may have happened here. You know what I mean? We don't know for sure, but let's just say that Disney was like, prequel, we got to stay away from. Sorry, George, we can't do this. We want to do something for the fans. That's the PR boilerplate, right?
This would have been for the fans.
This would have been perfect for the fans because it's the story and it's creative. It's a story George's thing, right?
Yeah.
And then the corporate sort of cookie cutter version of it just totally didn't work out. Like, it just didn't work out.
No.
And now they're sitting there like, man, like, Yeah, it's
But I mean, you know, yeah. Now I feel like it's on the uprise again. They can't make the same mistake 3 times. So, 4 times. So I feel like things are going to be good. To even just think about this kind of a fan fiction story is neat. It's not something I ever thought of before. Luke and Maul.
Never would have
ever. You know.
Yeah. And what a cool, because like as a fan of the Maul character, like some of the best parts of Rebels are I mean, he's still Maul, right? He's still Sisyphus. He's still chasing that revenge. But there are some moments where you can see
like he's sort of. He doesn't have to be Sisyphus.
He doesn't have to be. Exactly.
George can change whatever he wants.
Exactly. And there were moments where he was consolidating real power. His like studying of the Force magic, his studying of the 2 holocrons, putting the holocrons together and that sort of stuff. That's like getting your PhD in the Force.
Yeah.
Like he was writing his thesis basically.
Yeah.
In Rebels. And yeah, it could have been really cool to see what that would have looked like taken to the next level. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a scientist at this point. Do Zabraks age slower? I don't remember.
I would assume they age slower than at least your normal human for sure. Not to mention with the dark side, you can of course, keep yourself alive much longer. I mean, he kept himself alive with half a body just from straight rage. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but the dark side makes you deteriorate.
It does make your body deteriorate, but I think that it can prolong your life. It's almost like a
true.
Like a lich, a necrotic kind of lichy,
Darth Scion kind of thing.
Yeah, because the Jedi actually they live forever. They just the ones that do the Force Ghost ones. It's kind of ironic, right? Because they don't actually care about immortality, and then they just get it by actually giving in to death.
But the thing is, the Sith want to be alive in the real world. They don't give a crap about being dead and still being. I mean, well, not as much. They want to just rule in the flesh.
Correct. Yeah. That's why it was never good enough for even Plagueis. He knew of Force essence transfer. There were Force essence transfer had been around before. Sith had done that before, and it just wasn't good enough.
Well, he thought it was lame.
Yeah, he thought it was lame. Dude. Yeah. He was like, nah, man, I'm trying to come correct with this.
Yeah, I'm trying to prolong my actual flesh. My being, not transfer my essence into another one.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. I want to throw something really crazy at you. What if Talon is real, and somehow Moff Gideon is connected to her? Like, what if they take that story and what they were doing with Maul, and they do it in the Filoniverse instead? Because if you think about it, the Imperial Remnant cells are a thing. Gideon's one of them. And Gideon's obviously got, even though we haven't seen him yet, it would appear he's got way more resources than we first thought. Like that whole base, all the X-Wings, etc. Star Destroyer, maybe. So is it possible that Gideon will be connected to something very similar to at least part of what we might have seen in this story by George?
Very interesting. They could still bring this about, Yeah. That's very possible. I mean, Maul's dead at this point. I mean, but his apprentice could live.
Well, that's true. Exactly. So
but it's like, where would he have had this apprentice? We didn't see it in Rebels. Maybe before Rebels?
Well, there's a number of different things that we could do with that for sure. Maybe she's kind of independent of him, or maybe she's from the tribe and she finds
maybe she's his daughter.
Totally.
But wait, he got cut in half.
True.
Never mind.
We don't know exactly how they reproduce, and he could have done a clone or something. But how about this? At the end of right after Obi-Wan slices him on Tatooine in Twin Suns, right?
Yeah.
There's a scene that we didn't see where he puts him in a back-to-tank. And he just has him in a back-to-tank, like hiding on Tatooine, like Frankenstein. And then
collecting him, just talks to him every day. Hello, old friend.
I'm not alone anymore. Yeah. But no, you're probably right. Maul totally gone. Unfortunately, can't have him back, but that doesn't mean we couldn't do something similar.
Talon, dude. Talon being his, I don't know, niece.
Yeah, yeah. Or like, okay, so there's this thing with Kira, right? So let's go down this road.
All right.
If Maul and Kira were doing that kind of stuff around that time, leading all the way up into when the Empire was shaking and moving, there could be a scenario where Maul had just power that nobody really saw, like he really was that like godfather kind of figure.
Yeah.
And maybe at that time period is when he was training not only Kira but maybe other apprentices.
I love it.
Maybe
yeah.
Kira and her knew each other.
I love it. I
mean,
yep.
Yeah.
There's the spot right there. That could be it. That could be it, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that would be crazy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because right now, especially in Mando, it would appear that like money is moving around in the Outer Rim. Like it's crazy. Like, you know, if you think about all those fobs and all the money that the Empire was spending to get the child, and you know, we've already seen the rebellion scanning for Imperials and stuff. So like some of this stuff could be being set up like in front of our very eyes, because we don't exactly know what's going to be the main villain of the Filoni-verse, what's going to be the tie-ins of that time period. We don't really know.
Yeah.
We just know some of the players, you know, so.
Dude.
Could be crazy. And she could have his sabers, too.
She could have his sabers, and she could be the new big bad, you know? It's...
She could pop out an episode with Ahsoka this season, and they just start going at it. Like, how crazy would that be, dude? Like, Ahsoka comes out the blue, and then she just...
She's like, I know that lightsaber.
Right, yeah. I'd be so for it.
God.
Yeah,
so
that'd be
cool.
awesome. Yeah,
well, and the thing with this whole sequel trilogy that we're talking about, apparently it was supposed to be heavily reliant on the underworld system, which echoes 1313, the game that, you know, George was in charge of making, or, you know, responsible for approving, and then also his Underworld show, which is the main inspiration, I believe, for The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would have been cool, man.
It would have been really cool. It feels like some of this is being taken into consideration at the very least. You know what I mean? The other massive difference between this and the sequel trilogy, which actually could, you know... The other difference is that the George's version was going to take place just a couple of years after Empire, where the sequel trilogy takes place 30 years later, and or 19, right? Or is it 30? I think it's 30 years later.
Yeah.
And that's mostly just because the actors were all so much older, right? So if they, let me ask you this: if they were ever to recast younger Luke, Leia, and Han, and tell some of the stories in between Jedi and The Force Awakens, and we got some of this stuff told with different actors and actresses, how would you feel about that?
100%. Yeah, why not?
I'm with you 100%, but there are some people out there that are purists. Like, if I'm being 100% honest here, I think that Leia and Carrie passing obviously shifted things a lot for the sequel trilogy, but with all due respect, even before that, I did not think she necessarily even had a lot in the tank as far as an actress was concerned to really pull off what might have been needed for the vision of what that character was supposed to do in the sequel trilogy. And I love Carrie Fisher, may she rest in peace, but I'm just being honest. I don't think she was very good in Force Awakens. I don't even think she was that good in The Last Jedi, and whatever the hell they did in Rise is an abomination to me. So I don't know, what do you think about that?
I think with the right director, I think with Colin Trevorrow, I think she would have been really good. I think he would have known what to do and coached her on, you know, exactly how, you know, what Leia's feeling in this moment and how to basically personify that in her performance. I think with CG characters, as long as you get the blessing of the family, of the actor's family, like they did with Peter Cushing, why not?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I mean, remember, like Tarkin's... It wasn't Peter Cushing, it wasn't Tarkin, but it was just his character returning, you know, through all the CGI of someone else playing him.
Yeah,
and it was amazing.
And I think it helps. It just ties it together. And as the technology gets better and better, there's no reason not to do it that way. I also find the Leia in that movie to be great as well, right? So you're doing young Leia, and just, you know, Leia, they essentially could do that again. You know what I mean? With Leia and Luke. Sebastian Stan looks just like Luke. And we could see a version of this. Now, the sequel trilogy makes it so this would not obviously happen verbatim, but some of this could happen. You know what I mean? And so you could see some of this take place, and then maybe some of it is handled by Ahsoka and Ezra and the Filoni-verse characters, while Luke is off searching for artifacts or something. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of opportunity for this to still impact Star Wars. And I think the biggest wake-up call should be, if fans really think this is dope and much prefer this to the sequel trilogy, we should try to politely let Disney know, so that they can sort of recalibrate on future decisions. That's all it really is.
So you know I need you guys right now, the 4,100 something of you here, to hit like. Not for my purposes. I really don't care if you hit like on this video, because you guys are all here and it's a podcast. We're just chilling. But for them to watch this and see the actual fan engagement, not just the views, but the actual engagement itself. So I need you guys to really come through and kill it on that like button, so that they see, thousands and thousands of likes. And even to have like a poll, I'll probably do a poll on the channel as well, on the community tab, being like, would you like to see Talon in some sort of essence return or something like that, or be put into the story somewhere? I think it would be pretty neat. And of course, fans are the ones, I think, running the show when it comes to letting the producers and the executives know what we want to see, as we saw with Deadpool, which got materialized from fan involvement and engagement and love, as well as Darth Maul returning. So,
as well as Rosario Dawson even being Ahsoka, as well as a lot of different things. I think now fans have, technically you could even argue that a lot of the retcons in episode 9 likely come from fans. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Those are way too careful for them to just be JJ's vision or whatever.
No, that whole thing felt like, with Luke rising. I made a fan fiction years before episode 9, and it was Luke raising the X-Wing out of the water. It was Luke having the lightsaber. It was Luke just not being, well, how politely say this, not being the Last Jedi Luke. It's just, and we got that, he was just in ghost form. Yeah. So it's like all the things that they retconned, it's like they were scouring through Twitter and YouTube, YouTube comments, and they're like, okay, well, we got to fix this. Yeah, it's pretty weird, I guess. So,
right,
and it all comes down to improper planning. It all comes down to not having the right people in charge, running this whole operation. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I can't, as I said in that video, which is, what was it, a month ago or so or whatever, when Daisy Ridley announced that there was really no concrete plan regarding her character or anything. It's not Rian Johnson's fault,
Yeah, I agree with you. 100%.
It's the person who put him in charge. It's the person who gave him the keys.
100%. It's the person that hired him, and they hired him to be Rian Johnson. They hired Rian Johnson to be Rian Johnson. Yeah, and I take digs at Rian. And it's honestly, it is what it is, and it's lighthearted most of the time.
Yeah.
I think he's earned a few licks, if I'm being completely honest.
100%.
He hasn't exactly behaved like a true Jedi.
No, his behavior is not great, I don't think, especially with fans. And that goes for a lot of people in charge there. Could be a little more diplomatic, if political, with and kind to fans, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, with him, I feel like he just was paid to do what he is a professional at, which is to make movies. So it just so happens this was a very particular, very niche movie, very very homework heavy movie. So if you don't do that, you're gonna run into some problems. But what can I say?
I also just can't believe, though, that they would have, I can't believe getting a pitch like this, buying it. If this really was the pitch, right? If this was what was in that thing, they bought these, dude. They bought these.
Yeah, they bought these stories,
and they were ready to go to script. And I just don't understand. And literally the only thing I can think of is it has to do with the prequels, and it has to do with JJ. And it's like, that's, it is what it is, and it's fine. But one would hope that a big lesson was learned there, because when I hear them saying like we want to make or they want to make movies for the fans, like that's kind of a scary thought because it kind of implies that like this corporation is trying to like sort of reverse engineer, like it's a Frankenstein project of like what is the thing that fans want, and they're just trying to sort of reverse engineer and then Frankenstein together a corporate product that'll please everybody. But that's not what Star Wars is, right? I mean, like luckily the OG trilogy does have like almost near mass appeal to like wide audiences, but the prequels were divisive, but they still told George's story. I think again that is really Kanye's big point, right? Is that like it's even those movies which were really intimate and different told that crazy story, lived off of the wings of this dude's creativity. You're seeing so many crazy new things. Just it takes you on that journey, and Disney did not do that. They did the opposite. They rejected stories handed to them by the creator themselves, and for whatever reason just decided to try to make a corporate product instead. And hopefully the lesson is learned. That's
Amen. Amen.
Can I get an amen?
Can I get an amen? Yeah. So I mean, hey, it is what it is, and let's just move on, I guess.
Yeah, and hope that they can bring some of this into Legends now, and that Filoniverse will continue to be dope. And I want to see the Frog Lady spin-off show, and I can't wait for that. So hoping that's coming.
Yeah, what the hell is this? 2,500 likes. There's 4,200 of you here. What? Sweet.
It's like not good enough, guys.
What the hell is this?
Like,
yeah, what is this? What is this crap?
It's a terrible effort.
Yeah, what is
Try
this?
again. Yeah.
What is this garbage? Anyways. Try harder. Do it. Yeah, dude. Okay, so I guess we've exhausted that. Back to this. I should mention that I actually received in the mail all of my lightsabers, and I'm going to be doing unboxings. Let me show you one of them right here. And reviews. Check that bad boy out.
Is that Vader?
No, this is Luke's Empire Strikes Back. I got Vader, I got Qui-Gon, I got Dooku, I got Anakin's. I'm editing the Anakin video right now, but I've never had Luke's ESB. I've always wanted it. And, dude,
actually,
it's so sick.
That's now referred to as Rey's
No,
saber?
actually, it's not. So,
just
you can go F yourself. Thank you very much.
Apparently, it is. That's dope.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man.
That's nice.
It is very nice. Yeah, so stay tuned for those videos, guys. I also ordered this.
Dope.
Which is pretty cool.
Is that where you got the bounty hunter stuff from? Was it in one of those books?
What bounty hunter stuff?
The code, the video you did.
No, that book is in the other room. It's in that book is the bounty hunter code book, guidebook. It's like basically like Boba's. It's like a guidebook that's been handed down like throughout different bounty hunters. Even Han Solo got his hands on it.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, Django. There's like written notes in there from them. It's a really, really intricate book. A lot of parts are very detailed but kind of dry because it's like literally if you want to be a bounty hunter, like this is what the costs are. This is what it goes into super detail. It's cool. I like it. So I'm reading that one, reading this one, which I'm a huge fan of. I liked the last book that they did. So this one is basically like there are moments with all the characters in episode 5 for the 40th year anniversary. So 40 stories celebrating 40 years. And basically it just goes over the points of view of all these characters, which is pretty neat. It's like one of them is like when Luke is observing, when Yoda is observing Luke on Dagobah before he actually walks up to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and there's parts about him recognizing R2, and so it's like...
Can I guess what his reaction was? I'm going to summarize it, but this is what it is.
Yeah.
This motherfucker right here. Like, is that pretty much what it is?
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. Like, in the background. No, he wasn't impressed with him at all.
Yeah.
He's like this kid is like just so focused on the physical realm. He just keeps basically talking about this place is what did he say? This place gives me the creeps or something. There's something about this place, blah blah blah. Yeah, and like he's all about the physical. He doesn't even understand. He's like
he's like an American. He's like your average American.
There you go. Yeah.
You know. That's all else. That's all, you know, we can leave it there.
Yeah. So it's a cool, but the chapter called Disturbance, narrated by Sam Witwer. I've listened to it, I think, 4 times now.
Does Sam do the whole book?
No, I wish.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No. He did that chapter. He did another chapter, which I haven't read. I think for Palpatine as well. It's called A Kiss or something like that, or Love's Kiss or something. I don't know. But anyways, it was probably the coolest fan fiction in canon that I've ever read.
That's dope. Yeah.
It was nuts. It was
awesome.
Yeah. It reminded me.
No, those books are sweet, and they add these really nice little. I mean, as a Star Wars fan, I think that's the stuff we love, right? It's just that context and knowing that, you know what I mean, and.
Well, yeah, something on my channel that I've always loved doing is reading parts from the books because they're so cool. Like, they're just, in books, you're able to know what the character's thinking and seeing and feeling.
True.
Whereas in the movie, it's just like, he's just silent or whatever, and he just, like, goes about it. Like, but there's so much going on in there.
Exactly. And that's why certain things, like, if they were ever to do a big history of Yoda, I'd prefer books.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, that's something where it's like, I don't need, like, the compact sort of fancy bombastic version of that. Well, like, I need the moments.
Give me the movie, but then give me a director's commentary of it too.
Yeah, that's true, because the Last Jedi novelization is like way better than the movie, actually. And it potentially goes, it like, honestly, like, they should have just let Jason Fry write that movie.
The ending has still got me bewildered with the whole him hearing a voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so before that book came out, some guy that had been emailing me lots of leaks. Some of them came true, some of them didn't. Probably they were all going to come true, but they just changed the story a million times.
Right.
Before that book even came out, before the movie even came out, he said there was a voice at the end of the film, which was Hayden's. And I was like, no. He's like, make sure you pay attention for it. Like, you're going to hear it. We didn't hear it in the movie, and then in the book, you get a voice. And I'm like, okay, they obviously cut a lot of stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, I don't know. I just know that in the novel there's more of an explanation of like Rey and Kylo and like how Luke can see her through the Force, and like how Rey was able to absorb Kylo's training during and stuff like that just kind of like fills it in a little bit more of their
which
Force
I thought
connection.
was
It's a bad retcon for her powers for sure, but it's not necessarily bad in the sense that it sort of it makes you understand that,
like, what
really,
is she,
like,
Rogue?
Kind of. I mean, kind of, but it's more like it's like Bastion and Revan a little bit more. Yeah, where like they're, you know, able to do those kind of things. But yeah.
I guess when you combine that stuff with like a bad poorly written character, it's like nothing sticks. It's like
Rey is really the weaker link, and it's unfortunate because I think Daisy's great, and the character could have been really great and complex. It's just so clear that they really protected her. They rode around, causing any optics problems for her, which gives just this really shallow. She just lacks depth as a character.
Yeah. Which Colin Trevorrow absolutely nailed out of the, like, just killed it with his script when, you know, he made her blind. Like, what the hell?
Do you think there's anything in the Trevorrow script that is in any way reminiscent of the George thing that we're talking about right now?
No.
Not really.
No, because he has to run within the guidelines of the sequels that were written by
up of Last Jedi,
JJ
right.
and Episode 8. It's like, what can you do? You know?
Yeah. I just wonder because there's the secret apprentice, or rather the master that Palpatine had, I guess, right? But yeah, that's probably just something totally different. Tor Valum or whatever it was.
Yeah. Which is like, is that his like
Grandmaster,
or is it his Plagueis' actual
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole like mystery there. You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So, should we talk about Mando? Should we answer some super chats? I know I left you guys hanging a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect this week? I know this second episode was sort of a step back. It does appear that there's this thing with Google where they are getting the descriptions right, and so it does appear that the next episode will be the one that he's on the dock with and on the ship on the water.
So I'm gonna go out and say this right now. More and more as every day passes, I'm thinking that we're not gonna see Boba anymore.
Possible. Well, did I tell you about the update with the show? So according to, I think it was Deadline, the Boba Fett show is apparently filming potentially even before Mando season 3 films. Like they might be working on the Boba Fett spinoff like right now. And they could potentially wrap it before they even wrap Mando 3. Now, there was an update to that story that made it seem like no, we'll still see Mando 3 first, but regardless, Boba's show is being streamlined. Like I don't really understand it. I'm like, what? Like, okay. So I think we will see him again this season, but you could be right in the sense that he might not really do much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they just kind of put it as like a placeholder. Like, hey, you want to find out about Boba?
Yeah, exactly.
New show coming, baby. It's
totally. And everyone will completely check that out.
Oh,
yeah, of course.
Dude, no brainer. I think a Boba show is bigger than a Mando show.
I think so too.
100%.
100%. So let me ask you this. Are we seeing Sabine, are we seeing Bo-Katan? Because the Mandalorians are apparently on this planet that we're going to. Yeah. There's a whole nother coven.
I think Bo's in there.
Yeah, I think Bo's in there too.
I think Bo's in there. 100%.
Yeah. And that will be incredible.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Because Bo has experience with okay, so here's a possible place that this could go, right? So which by the way, I don't even necessarily fully understand this. Like, why does he need help from Mandos to find Jedi? I still don't get that. But
he doesn't. He needs help from Jedi to find Jedi.
That's what I'm saying. So like, why is he like, if I find other Mandalorians?
I think because the Mandos worked with the Jedi. I think because he knows that, because we saw in Clone Wars, we saw in Rebels. He knows that they obviously have a history of good and bad together. So,
well, he knows that now, but I think doesn't he know that just from what the armor tells him? And she tells him about ancient wars that they fought. Well, regardless, like that's sort of a rabbit hole we get down. But I guess the point is, if he's searching for Mandos to help him find the Baby Yoda species or to find the Jedi, Bo is the perfect Mando to find because she's had so many different experiences with the Jedi, including Ahsoka, but even before that with Obi-Wan, Satine, Maul. You know what I mean? Like she's been around. So dude, this could be like a big opening. This could be a really important episode.
Well, it can connect into Rebels entirely and then after Rebels too. So I mean, this next episode is probably going to be, look, people call the last one filler. Yeah, it wasn't, the biggest inconsistency with the plot. Sure, 100%. It was still fun, but I think safe to say the tempo's going to be raised big time in the next one because of this episode 2. And they're not going to do it twice.
No. And I think, And the thing is, we didn't really get to talk about this too much, but I think even if I conceded that episode 2 was filler, I would still have to say that it's better filler than what we got last season because it picks up right where we left off on Tatooine, right? And then him getting jacked is now going to be the explanation for how Boba was able to track him. And now Boba will be able to have known where he's going to be at. So potentially now Boba could pop up at any time, which is a great thing to have hanging over the rest of the episodes, right?
Yeah.
So to me, that's so much better of filler than like episode 5 last season, where like we open up and he's just getting shot in space. And I have no idea how much time has passed from episode 3. I have no idea what's going on. Like, I think even in its filler, the show has matured. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And that episode really cemented a lot of the relationship between the Mando and the child, and it was echoed, poetically with the frog lady and her eggs. And yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff that was in there, especially from the Ralph McQuarrie drawings, which
dude, I
were sweet to see.
I could geek out about this episode. Like, I thought the frog lady was fantastic, bro. And then when she's in the hot tub and then she grabs her clothes with her tongue.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Like, but she's also like a totally awesome shot. She can reprogram a droid. Like, she's kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah, she's cool. She's like an ex-assassin. Awesome. It's kind of like Padme's handmaidens. Like, everyone just thinks they're just whatever, but they were freaking assassins, man. They were ninjas.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you could have just had a gag character or a throwaway character, but instead, she's like actually interesting and functional.
Yeah.
And but yet also still really fun. I felt like the episode did a great job of like reminding us that like this is still Star Wars. It's still going to be fun, and we're still going to be able to laugh, and we're gonna have heartfelt feelings. And what did you think about Baby eating the eggs? Did you know that this was a thing, that some people are trying to cancel Baby Yoda now?
Yeah, I saw some people are actually trying to cancel. They're like very offended, and they're very like, oh no, like.
What do you think?
They're insane. Like.
I'm so glad you said it. You just said it. You're like, they're insane.
Like, what's wrong? It's dark humor. Like,
and they're not even fertilized eggs.
It's not even real. It's fake. It's fake, dude.
I know.
Like,
I know, dude. Dude.
What?
People are so wild. Like, they're like literally like, how can you live with that with that purity test with some of these people, and like the purity test that they have? How do you function in society at all? How are you not like?
Well, these are just very,
anything?
very. These are people who get very triggered from any certain thought of anything, that could offend someone else, because then in return that would make them look. I think make them look like a bad person. A lot of it is virtue signaling. A lot of it is them leading this idea of Baby Yoda eating an egg into some other weird thought of, I think, pro-choice and pro-life.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, connecting it to that, which I didn't even see,
like the and mental gymnastics you have to do.
Yeah.
To take a gag.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what it is, mental gymnastics. Yeah, basically just saying, oh, if you think this is funny, then you also are this and this and this and this, and you think this and that, and it's like, no, it was created by the showrunners to be dark humor, and even one of the Lucasfilm, I think, what's this, writers or something like that, something like that. Phil Stosak.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm butchering his name. Sorry. But yeah, he was like just being like, guys, it was just meant for dark humor, for fun. Like, there's nothing wrong with that,
You know what though? I'm gonna be honest, and it's only just because I have like that dark side in me, and I've got that butthole kind of in me. Like, when people get that mad about it, like I kind of want Baby Yoda to turn now. You know what I mean? Like, I legitimately want him to turn, and I also think that
just
like
for them.
Well, just because it would break a lot of hearts. You know what I mean? And just because these people are that upset, it does make me want to kind of, in that sense, just...
I don't care about people's opinions. I don't care about them. I don't care about what they think about a show. I just, yeah. So just make a good show. But I've seen people are just outraged at this, and it's like, come on, guys. I know it's COVID. I know we're all at home. We got nothing else to do. But just don't try to cancel a show now. Like, what do you...
Well, plus, like, there's no like equivalence judgment in Star Wars either. Like, Vader, like, I think people totally forget like the lesson of Vader and Luke, right? Like, Vader's horrible, dude.
No.
Like, he's literally the worst. He's the worst. And like, he doesn't, all of the bad things that he did don't go away because he's redeemed, but he is redeemed. And he does do like this good deed at the end. You know what I mean?
I gotta argue, to this point here, is that what if Baby Yoda is actually saving the eggs and he's going to regurgitate them?
I mean, he could be. He absolutely could be regurgitating the eggs. I also think that, like, in the context of the story, that lady, there's no way that lady didn't know that he was doing that, and she probably just has a surplus of eggs. Like, they're going to be fertilized or whatever, and she probably just has a bunch of them. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
it's like when you have your dog and it like eats. I don't know, if it eats like a mouse or something. It's like, oh no, like what are you doing? But I mean, it's a dog. It's that's what it's programmed to do. It's.
But we have seen
doesn't have
Baby Yoda
ethics.
choke Cara Dune, and a lot of people have been making this point. I do find it kind of interesting. Din is so violent in front of this child, and like even in the first episode where Timothy Olyphant's like, "Are we going to do this in front of the kid?" and Baby Yoda's like,
"He's
seen worse."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, is Din about to show? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is Baby Yoda going to turn to the dark side? You know what I mean? Because of this Mandalorian upbringing.
Yeah, well, maybe. I just think Yoda might just use the Force. He's a baby. He's just going to use the Force the way he uses the Force. If that's Force lightning, cool. If it's Force choking, cool. If it's healing, cool. It's just the Force, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
If you're choking out a bad person, it's not bad. If you're Force lightning a bad person, it's not bad. So, I mean, it's like...
True, but once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just interesting because I think, again, it's fun and I love getting lost in this and like just geeking out about it. But I think that the point of Star Wars is that anybody could go to the dark side. You know what I mean? Like that we are all battling with that temptation. And every time we do give into it, it is a mistake. And every time we fight it is good, you know? So in that sense, like, I don't know, like optics and like wanting, like,
Did you see
this
the
whole idea?
It reminds me of the story about this young boy who got beat up by bullies and he didn't fight back because it said it's not the Jedi way, and he got like all like mangled, like bruised up, and like, and Mark Hamill was basically applauding him, being like, oh, they're true Jedi, and it's like, I'm sorry, if someone is beating you up, do what you need to do. Protect yourself.
100%.
Turn Sith as AF, okay? Like you think Mace Windu would just be there and let someone be like, no, the whole story of Jedi was protecting the people you love, including yourself. So what?
No, I mean, that's the exact moment that, like, so that would be like if Darth Maul had stood in front of them and done the lightsabers, and then Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan were like, we're just going to go get sliced up. Like, that's the Jedi way.
They're just like, no.
Right? Kill me now. Yeah. No, like, you obviously fight against evil. The whole freaking rebellion fights against this big galactic empire.
Yeah, you know I didn't understand that. Yeah, I'm not for that. I think, if someone is attacking you, you do what you need to do to protect yourself and the people you love,
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I mean, this is not a popular opinion, but sometimes,
legally, of course.
Yeah, legally, of course. Sometimes the kids that happens to, they do end up in the dojo, and then they do train, and then that never happens to them again. And most of those people, by the way, they don't become bullies. They become well-balanced people, because when you actually study the arts and things like that, it's a little bit different. So, yeah.
Yeah, Obi-Wan, I will do what I must. Yeah. Well, we do need a Sith movie, I agree. Did Mark really say that? Yeah, he retweeted it or something, and he was like, it's like, oh, what did he say? It's like, oh, true Jedi wouldn't fight back, like, you stand for love or something like that. I mean, like, I understand it's good to be compassionate, but if you're getting wailed on, man, like...
Oh, man, you could get brain damage. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could, you don't mess around with that. Like, somebody,
No way.
No way.
Always got to protect yourself. Be kind to others and be compassionate and loving, but, if someone's hurting you, you do what you need to do. You protect yourself. Can I get a motivational quote from you, please? You just got one.
Yeah.
What's up, Theory? Hope all is well. I love Nerd Theory podcast even more than Rule of Two, but what happened with Rule of Two and when will it be back? Mark's busy doing his own stuff right now, so we still talk often, so he'll be back when he has time, but Nerd Theory will always be around, so yeah. Yo from France, keep up the good work. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Ooh.
Love the channel. Watching Return of the Jedi right now. Oh, nice, dude. That's cool.
Nice. It's a good one.
To use an example outside of Star Wars, defend yourself the Klingon way.
Yeah, Klingons were brutal.
Make an animation out of this. I'll play DM. Oh no. I don't know. It would be cool to make an animation out of this, but
dude, this would be yeah. I mean, this would be incredible to animate. At the very least, doing one of your one of those things that you did with the Trevorrow script, dude.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, it'd be neat.
That would be nice.
At the least, yeah. It'd be very expensive to do this whole like sequel trilogy though. Yeah. I could do clips, snippets. Yeah. Basically, we could have had live action Ahsoka earlier. Hello there. What would make a good Star Wars series horror style? Probably Vader hunting down Jedi after Order 66.
Yeah, we could totally do that. I think there are like zombie stories. Like that's where the Death Trooper word comes from. There was like a zombie, so you could do something like that. I think that even the Krayt Dragon could be scary. Imagine being trapped out in the desert and the Krayt Dragon coming at you.
That'd be cool. Crazy. Thanks, Grayson. Appreciate it. Tarif says, remember how George was telling Dave Filoni to bring back Maul in Clone Wars? Just bring him back. When is that? 2010? So he would had an idea then. Possible, yeah.
Yeah, very possible. Very possible.
Maybe this is, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe this is the reason he wanted Maul back. He's like, you know what?
Dude, I totally think, I mean, he goes on to talk about how, I believe he talks about how they did bring him back in Rebels, and he has a big to do in Rebels. So yeah, it makes total sense, man. And George isn't. I mean, George even said that if he had known Boba Fett would have been as liked, he would have given him a better death or whatever, right?
Probably. Yeah.
So like, George like understands. You know what I mean? He gets the fans.
Yeah. Hey, Theory and Josh, hope you're doing well. Do you think if Leia was saying more political, that her and Luke would stay? Then her and Luke would have worked together to change the Jedi's presence in the Senate to prevent Episode 3 events? No, because regardless, the Sith will always do what they got to do.
Yeah, and the Episode 3, Luke and Leia weren't even around. Like, I'm not sure I understand what he's saying.
Oh, there was a canceled Maul video game that followed a similar plotline before Episode 1. Right, I forgot about this game.
Yes, I've heard about that too.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Here's a prediction for Episode 5 of Chapter 13, or Chapter 13. We're going to get an embarrassing cameo from Jon Favreau, Filoni's Revenge. Oh, haha. I think that literally anything... Right, so Filoni's character's name's Trapper Wolf for the New Republic.
I like Trapper Wolf.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, and apparently he was like, didn't want to do it or something. He was just like, eh.
Yeah, he did great.
And then he did great, yeah. Hop in the X-Wing.
Hop on in that X-Wing, Dave. Come on.
I think that literally anything that took a risk and introduced new elements would have been better than the sequels. They were corporate and safe. They were.
100%, yeah.
They felt like they were made by suits. What books are you talking about? I'd order them. Right. You guys will see. Yeah, you guys will see it when they come. More than likely, this is not the treatment GL submitted to Disney. I think these were written right after Episode 3 or just as the Clone Wars are being developed. So it says 2019.
2019 is when he got that quote. So, yeah, I just don't buy that.
No. If Luke cut himself off from the Force in The Last Jedi, why would he be wearing Jedi robes when Rey showed up on Ahch-To?
Was he
cosplaying?
No, he was going to kill himself.
Says who?
Well, it's heavily implied that he was going to commit suicide. Like, I forget exactly. Ryan has talked about it before.
Of course, Ryan would talk about it. He has a fetish for killing Luke.
Yeah, exactly, right. But yeah, that's why he would have had the robes on. But maybe he wasn't gonna kill himself. He would have just been absorbed into the Force. Yeah. He's just, yeah. Mm-hmm. Because he puts them back on when he goes to burn the temple down. Remember? Up until that point, he's just wearing the North Face jacket or whatever, right? So he's got the black North Face on, and then later on he pulls that off and puts the robes back on when he goes to blow up the tree or whatever. Just trying to trigger you or something.
Yeah. When's your next animation and fanfic coming? I don't know. So, yeah. Well, the next Once Upon a Theory is actually almost done. It's been months in the making. It's the best one. It's the most high budget one, and Samuel Kim scored it. So, it's amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. I can show you that after this. Actually, I'll send you the link.
Cool.
Alex, thank you for the generous donation. Hey dudes, news for you. Couple months ago, EA closed another fan game that has been developed for years, Star Wars Redemption. It was called Game About Jedi disguised as Clone Trooper gameplay. You can find... okay, cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, neat. The only reason they would shut that down, I think, is if it's making money.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or if it's using assets.
Yeah,
but dude,
right.
I've seen some channels use, I think, cinematic captures. I think he uses Battlefront 2 assets, and then I saw like the main guy from EA or from EA Star Wars like retweet and be like, "It's amazing what fans do with our assets. This is awesome." I'm like,
yeah,
you guys are such hypocrites when it comes to me, hey? Like,
I know it's really weird. Like, I don't understand it at all. Like, I really don't. Like, there's some. Like, yeah, we could go down a whole rabbit hole on this because I really don't get it. Because you're right, there are people out there that do stuff. They will not only leave them alone, but then they'll actually like elevate them and be like
promote them.
So, I mean, think about what the 501st even is. You know what I mean? Like the 501st is like an official. I believe they're 501c3. They're a little nonprofit that's associated with official license stuff. You know what I mean? Like they're official through Disney. So it's like, I don't understand it, dude.
Yeah. I guess if they just don't like you, they don't like you, you know?
That's the thing. Like, that might just be it, dude. Like, they just might literally be like, I don't like this person. And I also think that when it comes to their sort of... Well, when it comes to, like, their mainstream media stuff, like, dude, the thing is, I don't think they can necessarily trust people like you and me because, like, we will slip in... like not only like realness but like maybe even potentially like a real question, right? So like if we were ever to be like, given an interview or something and we would maybe ask a real question that just is not what like the shill access media would ask, etc., etc.
Yeah,
you know
right, because we're not part of
because we don't give a because we don't care about Disney like that. We like Star Wars.
Well, we're fans, you know, of George Lucas, so we are fanboys. We're not a corporation. We're not a company that's doing interviews for the sake of doing interviews. We're doing interviews for our own personal enjoyment of understanding and learning things about the franchise we love. So we would ask questions that wouldn't necessarily promote their projects, but it would satisfy our own understanding of this larger world behind the scenes, maybe.
Yeah,
which can leave it up to, you know,
right.
Where can it go?
Think about this. Even as respectful as we've been tonight, and I feel like we've done a great job.
I think we're always respectful.
Right, but from their perspective, they're probably like, but I still don't like how they're making us look like we're corporate hack job people. But it's true. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not even like that mad about it. I actually understand it, and I think that, you know, like it makes sense, and hopefully they just learn from it. But they just hate that so much. Like, they just hate being exposed for making the wrong call or being fallible or whatever it is. It's like really crazy to me, but that's the Disney way, dude.
I don't know, man. I know there's some parts of Lucasfilm that don't mind me, the people that I've interacted with, and then I know that there's other parts that are just like blacklist. Yeah, which is weird.
I was told I was blacklisted a couple of years back when I made a Kathy Kennedy video.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, somebody told me that one of my connections was like, "Oh yeah, bro, you ain't ever getting press."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm blacklisted too.
Yeah.
I think it was for that whole the copyright claim thing. I think
well, that. You know, that's these companies, man. These companies, and you know, like I'm gonna freak out about. I'm gonna do a whole rant tomorrow about Verizon on my morning stream.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna freak out about them because these corporations, dude, they've gotten so in the habit of not having to actually treat their customers well.
Right.
And it's bullshit, and it's gonna change. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, things are changing, the industries are changing, and these companies that have just taken their fan base for granted are gonna have a lot of rude awakenings. So, but you know, Star Wars doesn't necessarily have to be one of those companies. Again, I think that the current,
I feel, to actually cut you off. Sorry. Also, I feel like we're insignificant in their eyes. you know, and we're just fans. We're just fans who's like amassed a following. At the end of the day, we're no one. We're just fans, dude. Like, that's...
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You know?
If I could push back against that a little bit, because I think from their perspective, that's true. But I also know, just from what I know of TV ratings, that like NBC, ABC, Fox, and these other networks, they get like the biggest network last month, I think was like Fox. And I think they did like 4 million views total on their network in a month.
That's it?
That's what I'm telling you. So what I'm telling you is you do...
That can't be right, dude.
No, it is right. And what I'm telling you is these us just fans, you know what I mean? Like people are going to start to understand where attention and views actually are. And then maybe they'll be like, oh shit, maybe it's not just fans. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, like, people have no idea. And those numbers for network and cable, they're not even real. They're based off these antiquated systems. It's very likely that their views are not even that good.
Huh.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that. Fox got 4 million.
We can, look it up. Look it up. It's pretty wild.
Dude, in December, I got 60 million.
Yeah, that's insane. Dude, no network cable company has gotten like, 60 million.
I was doing live streams hitting 23,000 live viewers, and like for me that's big. I know for like Doc and like Doc Disrespect, that's like huge. Nothing. But
yeah, but that's huge.
For me that was huge. Yeah, like I feel like that's a big, that's a lot of people. Vertical, that's a lot of eyes, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can see where you're coming from in that sense, but at the end of the day, like I just kind of think of us as we're just fanboys, and I think the problem is that, because there's probably so much malice in the whole community of fake people and trying to leech off of, make money off of Star Wars. There's a lot of people like that, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if they see us like that. We're like, oh, just dudes like trying to... And I know some other Star Wars YouTubers paint me in this light because that's actually what they're doing. But I can see them doing that, or thinking that, at least having the misconception that, okay, just paint us all with this one brush of like, we're just dudes just trying to get our bag. And it's like,
yeah,
a lot are, but you and I are actual fans. We actually live and breathe this stuff, and we're lucky enough to have made a career out of it just simply by being fans and making stuff we think is cool and it resonates with you guys so far, which is neat. So
yeah. No,
I mean,
dude, I totally agree. Well, I think just like in movies, even YouTubers, there are YouTubers that, while maybe not corporate, because that's not the right word, it's very sort of shallow. You know what I mean? Like you can, like, I call some of these people algorithm junkies. You know what I mean? Where they're just,
oh my God, yeah, I know one channel in particular, algorithm junkie. Like every word he says is filled with an algorithm keyword. So that when the closed captions pop up that YouTube recognizes, it really feeds into the system and the metadata, and it's like, it's ridiculous. Like, this dude's not even a fan of anything.
Oh, and they don't even do, like, some of the people that I know in like the Marvel community, man, like the content is so soulless, and it's like, so like, as opposed to making a video like, oh my God, this thing happened, and as a fan, I'm so excited and I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's more like they're like, oh, this thing happened.
I gotta capitalize on it. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Here's how I can reverse engineer views out of it.
Do you see the guys that like capitalize on the Chadwick Boseman death? Yeah. Making tons of videos and just like Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther. It's like, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. And mainstream media tried to do that as well, right? Where they, they sort of, I forget, there was one, maybe it was Deadline or Screen Rant or something. They ran an article like the next day about replacing Chadwick, and it was like super out of taste or bad taste. But you know what I find so crazy is the channels that do whole videos over Twitter drama. You know what I mean? Like, people are...
I did one of those.
Literally been...
I did one of those.
Well, I've done them before. I've done one on, if it's a really big deal. But usually it's
I was pretty pissed. I was pretty pissed.
I've done it before. I did it with some things that I thought were a very significant thing. But, like, I'm telling you, man, people, like, are scouring Twitter looking for a Star Wars actor or actress to say something that'll rub people the wrong way. so that they can just squeeze out some AdSense from it, dude. It's like, it's really whack.
Well, I wasn't aware of that, but I've seen, yeah, definitely, you know, look, drama is numero uno in terms of views, and if you're trying to get money, you know, drama, man, like, that's the thing. Like, I remember sadly when I made my Twitter video, it performed very well, which wasn't my intention, but it was to merely vent, to be honest, to vent, and I felt attacked by tens of thousands of people, and I just made a Twitter drama video, and
that's a little different though, because that happened directly to you. I was referring to like literally a celebrity, and you know, wow, like to consider that a Hollywood celebrity would tweet something left-leaning politically around the time of an election. What a freaking crime, right? And so I just find it so ridiculous that like people are scouring the internet finding Hollywood celebrities that say something you would expect a Hollywood celebrity to say, and then act like it's this most shocking, horrible thing, and then want to like either cancel them or monetize complaints about it. It's so unintellectual, low-hanging fruit garbage, and I not a fan.
I would disagree. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from. I would disagree. If someone presents themselves as a news source or wants to get money, then you know they're doing what they wanted. They're doing what they set out to do.
They're
now the ethics of it.
Rights. Yeah,
I think everyone's ethics is totally different. I'm learning to not put people in a good or bad box. I think everyone has a different sort of. I think everyone, in their own right, is good. I mean, what may be acceptable in your community or home is something that is totally unacceptable somewhere else, and vice versa. So, I mean, I think it all comes down to perception and
well, I would say
surroundings.
Yeah, and I understand that, and I get that, and I'll tell you that some of these people are like, some of the people that I'm talking about, I consider to be friends, and I still can't get down with the way they do YouTube and the way they do divisiveness. But I will say this, to throw a dog a bone, like, they didn't create the system. Mm-hmm. They didn't create the state of the world. They didn't make sure that everybody gets triggered by these certain things. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, like you said, like, drama has been selling newspapers since like the 1920s or whatever. Like, so
absolutely.
Essentially it's not necessarily their fault. For me personally though, I just personally make the choice to try to lean more towards hype. Like if both are a little impure, right? Like getting like way too hyped up about something maybe you shouldn't necessarily do, right? In the same way that maybe you shouldn't freak out about Twitter drama. I personally feel a little bit better when my head hits the pillow, having gone out on a limb in the hype area rather than the divisive area. You know what I mean? But that's more of a personal choice, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely subjective, and I guess to each their own. So all I can say to that. I really enjoy, like, I mean, some people, they may be like, oh, this guy is an idiot. Like, I'm in debt from all the projects that I do. None of them make money on themselves, but here I am. You know, when I hit the pillow, I'm like, oh, cool. I get to wake up and see the new progress on this animation or the cinematic. When
you hit the pillow, I'm getting off the pillow, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Yeah. Like this morning, it was like, I actually ended up taking my dog to the vet today.
Oh, man.
Yeah, when I went to bed at 7 after I talked to you, she was like hacking up, so she has kennel cough.
What?
Yeah, so and she's been vaccinated, so apparently it's going around. So I had to take her and got to sleep around 9, and yeah, that's one reason why we were all so late. Sorry, guys, but yeah, it was one of those days for sure.
She's gonna be okay though.
Yeah, I'm monitoring her for the next 2 weeks, they said, and then medication if not better, so she doesn't get pneumonia. Yeah.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah,
that should be fine then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went to bed and literally like. She's just like hacking. So
that can be scary, dude.
I just got dressed.
Yep.
Went to the ER, the 24/7 vet. I was like, all right.
Nice. 24/7 vet.
Yeah.
Dude, you're close to like a lot of clutch things.
I wasn't that close.
I just imagine you like living. What's up?
It wasn't that close.
It wasn't that close?
No.
Because I just imagine you like, I don't know, up in Canada, like you open up the door and there's like a forest and there's just snow everywhere, and then it takes you like miles to get into town or something like that.
And that's if you live like more in the boonies, but Nah, I mean, yeah. I love Canada. I love it here. It's the best. I know a lot of you guys didn't know I'm Canadian.
American, you know?
Yeah.
We don't know much about other cultures, so.
I've noticed that. Yeah, my fiance is American. Yeah. You guys don't know much about anything other than the bubble you live in.
Yeah, we're really not interested. Like
what's Europe?
Right. Well, dude, it's funny you said that. My sister was saying something about Europeans to me the other day, and she was like trying to. And I'm not gonna like get political on it or whatever, but I basically just said like, why would I care what a European thinks of America? Like I was literally like, why would I care? That's the most un-American thing ever. I'm sorry. Right. If you care about particularly the Brits, and if you're watching Rahul, this is some real shit, my friend. Particularly the Brits. Why would we care at all what a Brit thought of us? Just gonna say, that's all.
I don't know. I would argue that you shouldn't care what anyone thinks of you.
Amen. See, that's a very American thing, but that's the Canadian version of that, which is why because you guys are like the nice version of us.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we're
like the more Jedi side of America.
Yeah, I guess you punch us in the face, we're gonna say sorry.
Right?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah.
No, not really. But anyways, my wife predicted Maul's return back in 2000. We all called her crazy. Little did we know. Lol.
Interesting.
She is the chosen one.
Yeah.
Duel of the Fates is superior to Rise of Skywalker. Amen. I think that Moff Gideon is probably not force sensitive. In my opinion, he is probably searching for the child because he wants to study him in depth. Maybe.
Interesting.
Talon under Disney control probably will suck.
Wait, what?
Someone said Talon under Disney control will probably suck.
Well, it might be a little watered down, but we can hope that it would be really cool. And
no, I think you just get the right people behind it.
Yeah, true.
Hey, are they making another Deadpool, or is that no?
Oh yeah, 100%. He signed. Yeah, he signed a big contract.
And it's like it's rated R.
That's the rumor. I don't know. I do think they'll push it either way. They could do a hard PG-13, but they could also do R as well. I don't know.
When are all the Fox movies coming to Disney Plus? Do you know?
Hopefully soon. I know a bunch of them have already moved, but I would say before the end of the year, maybe like around Christmas time, a bunch more of them will hit.
We're getting Alien.
Ooh. Yeah, but they'll have that new version, right? Or rather, they'll have the like R-rated Touchstone Pictures thing on Disney Plus so that you can watch the Alien there. Yo, Alien and Alien 2 are incredible, man. Whew.
I have not seen Alien 2. I gotta watch it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I'm a huge Alien fan. I know, but I guess not big enough. So.
Dude, you gotta see it. It's really good.
Yep. Prometheus was crazy. Covenant.
Yeah, those movies are nuts, dude. Did you see Raised by Wolves?
No.
I told you a little bit about it, but it sort of potentially could tie into the Alien universe.
No, I didn't. No.
Yeah, you should check it out, bro. It's like the best show on television, I'm telling you. Well, now that Mando's back, maybe not, but...
What about Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai is pretty good, bro.
I'm very excited for January 8th.
Yeah, man.
This basic idea could still work post-sequel trilogy if you replace Maul with Jar Jar, Talon with Rey, and Luke with either Ben Solo back from the World Between Worlds. But, dude, I don't like World Between Worlds.
You can't World Between Worlds. Anytime that your fan fiction takes you to the World Between Worlds, you just have to stop yourself.
You just have to be like, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like you basically just have to be like, no, that's for Dave.
In Dave Filoni's defense, he said that it's not a time travel thing at all. It's just a string of events that have happened. But then I argue, I'm like, well, Dave, he literally took Ahsoka out and saved her. He was about to take Kanan out and save him. So what is this? Obviously, it's a time portal thing. I mean, come on.
I call it time displacement, not necessarily time travel. So it's not necessarily. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Sound like George.
Yeah, I was trying to little George there.
You think Kira is Maul's apprentice? Could they do the storyline with her? Well, like she's force sensitive? Maybe.
Be interesting.
Maybe, but I don't think so. Sexy Chad Lucas trilogy versus Virgin Disney films.
That'd be a great little meme. That's funny.
First Star Wars theory in a long time. I'm a long time fan. First Star Wars theory, I'm a longtime fan, is if this is all true, then Disney shit the bed. As a writer myself, this story arc sounds incredible. You can tell Lucas had respect for Legends content. I agree.
You know what? That's another thing. Because people always talk about that, how like Legends was just Legends and George didn't even like it. Definitely seems like George had some things he liked from Legends.
Yeah, of course.
Talon being one of them, right?
Of course. What's this Filoni-verse I keep hearing about? Josh?
So the Filoni-verse is a rumored suite of Star Wars live-action shows being developed for Disney+. Apparently, all of them will be under the direct supervision and writing control of Sir Dave Filoni.
Be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the Filoni-verse.
If you want to replace the sequel trilogy, be the Filoni-verse sequel trilogy instead of building off the Disney Star Wars. Then Jar Jar could still work instead of Maul. Right.
Yo! I mean, technically, that is true.
Maybe Solo 2 and 3. Right, and Ahmed Best said in that live stream, which I never saw, but heard about, that supposedly Jar Jar was supposed to be a Sith Lord.
I think he was clowning.
He said it was filmed.
I know he said it, but I'm just telling
kidding.
you, I think he was clowning. Yeah, for sure.
And George changed the script because people hated Jar Jar?
No. I think Ahmed Best was lying and just having fun with us.
Maybe.
What I think. Yeah.
Maybe.
Disney
will never allow anything close to this now since this has come out. If Disney... What? Disney will never allow anything close to this now since this has come out. Because if they did, it would admit the screw up. I think there's something really honorable in saying, hey, we screwed up.
I 100% agree. Yeah,
I think it's very honorable. Yeah,
I agree, but I don't know if they'll ever necessarily do that. But I think we know enough to know that they have learned. I mean, it's just clear. The proof is in the pudding. You know, look at the merchandising this year. Look at how different it is than years past. Yeah. Look what they're selling. We're getting a Boba Fett show, for God's sakes. I mean, just look at what's happening. It does look like they are learning the lessons. But I do see the point of that super chat, because what he's saying is like they would never do this, especially now that it's come out, right? But again, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. And maybe if they did put Talon in, it could be the closest thing we'd ever get to like a little I'm sorry and a winky face from Disney, you know?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, look, you guys want to make money, you know how to make money. You know, put the people who know this story in charge, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Like,
which I think they're doing.
They're doing, right, man. They're doing, and that's all you need to do. I mean, literally, just like, yeah, put John and Dave Filoni in charge. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a vacation. See you guys later. Like, that's it. Right? That's all you got to do.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Just, yeah.
And then give Feige a call if you ever have any really tough questions. He's literally working for the same company. You know what I mean? Should be easy.
Do you think we're going to get all the Avengers cast in Star Wars movies now?
You know, the big rumor right now is all about Robert Downey Jr. And I was trying to think about that. I was like, who would I like to see RDJ play? You know what I mean? If he was going to come into Star Wars as I don't know. I'd almost rather see like Chris Evans or something. You know what I mean?
I wasn't a fan of the Captain America character.
What?
Yeah, he's just too rigid.
I love that Captain America.
Too rigid, man. Not Chris Evans' performance. His performance is great. I'm talking about the character. I think just Captain America in general is just like...
No, he's supposed to... Yeah, he's the Boy Scout. You know what I mean?
Dude, take the stick out. Like, God.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so fun is like his interactions with,
I know.
with him and stuff.
Yeah, he's like from the 40s or whatever. So it's like, all right, I get it. Yeah, I get it. But I don't know. Just give me some ScarJo.
Hey, that'd be nice. Hopefully we'll get that movie someday.
Nice. I think Moff Gideon, we've already read that, so I'm not going to read it again. Maul's spirit imbued in his lightsaber trained Talon that escaped slave Twi'lek.
Or like a, holocron, maybe.
The slave Twi'lek on Tatooine is Talon.
Ooh, that'd be crazy, dude.
She's green, then somehow she turned red.
Yeah.
Yeah. I served Jabba, that bastard. So what's the goal? Where do we go from here? What do you guys want to see? I just want good Star Wars. I don't like the sequels, but I don't know what they could do to make this all better. You can make a show about Luke's adventures. No, there's nothing you could do really about it's just kind of ruined now.
It's
okay,
tough to get to,
if I was Bob Iger, all right, if I had that power, I would make an announcement and say, look, guys, we're creating, that's an alternate timeline. We're creating another timeline. You can choose which timeline you want, just like the Spider Multiverse.
Yeah.
We're going to do something a little different. So we're now going to go and we're going to create this story. I don't know.
I think
or they could create George's story before episode 7.
That's what I think they'll do. Yeah. So like I think there's no getting around the sequel trilogy. Like the sequel trilogy happened, but I think like what I would do if I were Disney is I would build up some awesome stuff in the lore before it. I would give fans a little bit more of Luke and figure that out with either a show, cameos, or whatever, and I'd figure that out. Get more of an explanation. What you really need is you need a Clone Wars type series with a young Ben Solo, Lor Santeca, and Luke Skywalker. You need like the Clone Wars animated show, but with those characters, because what that show did was really help people with the character of Anakin in the prequels, and with his relationship with Obi-Wan and just the Clone Wars in general. And so there's plenty they could do to sort of soften the edges around the sequel trilogy. But as far as retcons, I think that's out of the question. However, they can still do, like, if Filoniverse is crazy and impactful, that might be more of what people even go to when they're thinking of post Jedi, right? Which I don't think would be a bad thing. Is like, let's make that so epic and crazy that's what people really talk about post Jedi, and then the sequel trilogy becomes sort of like, oh yeah, and then this happened in these couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then build past it with some other crazy stuff, and then I think you're fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
I'd be down with that. Yeah, I mean, just tweak the story a little bit, put it in between 6 and 7, make it all about Luke and Leia and this new Sith.
Yeah. Yep.
Done. Easy peasy.
So easy.
You get your profits. We get a really cool story. We buy all the merch.
Exactly.
I mean, it's pretty simple. So, yeah. Anthony, thank you for the generous super chat, man. In alternate timeline, I would have liked Luke to live till the end of the trilogy, and he promoted Ben to Grandmaster. He sees his work is done and leaves to travel the galaxy where the Jedi never explored, and he takes Finn with him as his apprentice. Yeah, it'd be neat.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I would love to see more Finn, and I hope we do see more Jedi Finn past episode 9. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that's what we should have seen.
Yep, 100%.
So they played with a lot with that whole Stormtrooper thing in Rebels.
Yep.
So, I mean, just pre-ordered the new Mandalorian Black Series helmet that will come out June next year. It looks pretty nice, I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm excited. Nice. I love those helmets.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm excited to get it.
Big shot.
Uh-oh, did you drop it?
No.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
How do I do this?
It won't be firing. It, like, clicks. It's actually a hard press in, down.
I don't want to break it. All right. Yeah. This is the Black Series one, so.
Yep. Yeah, I got the same one over there. I've got the Iron Man one. I love these helmets, bro.
Yeah, they're really good. Really good. Really good. Yeah, I'm going to do a review on this one because you guys wanted that, so can't wait to do that, as well as a review on the lightsabers and stuff. Woo! But yeah, the Mando helmet looks pretty sick. MMA says, if Boba reveal was only a tease, that's cruel, but I have never seen a show reveal tease done better. Honestly, it didn't feel shoehorned. It was the best.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, as Evan from Superbad said,
so
it was
little,
the best.
But it got us so hyped.
Yeah, I know. That's why I think, because expectations were so up top on the first one, and the second one was like, what? Unrelated completely. So people were
and
like,
I totally recognize that. Like, I'm not one of these people that's like, yeah, totally. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, well, if you felt that way, you're clearly stupid. No, like, obviously, I get people. They're very different episodes, and I totally get people being like, oh man, I really wish this one was more like that one.
Sure,
I totally get
yeah.
it. It's just, for whatever reason, man, it just worked for me, and I found myself enjoying it so much. So I'm happy to be in the minority. So maybe sequel fans could learn something about that. You know, like, hey, that's fine. You know, people don't like it. I like it. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Bring back the Night Sisters to introduce Talon would be the perfect link between Darth Maul and her. You can even make her Maul's sister through Talon. Oh yeah, that'd be neat.
That would be neat.
I think daughter would make more sense. But he doesn't have a wee-wee, so.
Yeah, it'd be tough. Maybe uncle? Maybe Savage?
Oh, maybe, yeah. But Savage wasn't really even his true brother.
Right. I don't know.
It was like his brother in the clan. I don't know.
Right.
If Mano doesn't know anything about Jedi, how does he know how to say "May the Force be with you"? Right. So this is a question that I saw a lot of, and I was going to make a video on it. So my theory on this is that after Luke took over, and all you other channels out there, that I know you guys love tuning into this show and writing down the notes. Get your pen and pads ready, because I've seen a lot of stuff that you and I talk about turned into actual videos, which...
I know, right? What the hell?
Yeah. So get it ready.
My man had the prop for y'all.
Yeah,
oh, man. Okay.
Think for yourselves, goddammit. Yeah, so basically, what I think is after Return of the Jedi, the whole galaxy knew that Luke saved the day, okay? And they knew that he's obviously very embodied with the Force. He's very akin to the Force, and the Force was something that really helped with the vanquish of the Empire. That and the fact that Leia is moving up further in politics, and she is the sister of Luke Skywalker. So she's probably using that term as well, "May the Force be with you," because she believes in it more than anybody. So, besides Luke, of course. So I feel like it's just kind of this like common term that the New Republic uses now. May the Force be with you. May the Force, because it all comes from Luke and them hearing the story of how... Yeah, and he
said it to blend in. He was trying to get them to be like, "Oh, he's one of us."
Yeah, that's all. So I think that's my theory on how the answer of like how that actually happened, why he said that, how he knows about it.
I love it. Works
also, I mean,
perfectly.
he was saved from death. He was saved by Death Watch from the Separatists, which was a big fight between the Separatists and the Republic, the Jedi. So he would know all about the Jedi. He would know "May the Force be with you." He was just doing it to fit in. Just kind of fly under the radar.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah. So.
Makes sense to me.
What's chat saying here? Talon escapes slavery on Tatooine due to her Force powers and finds Maul's lightsaber imbued with spirit, which trains her in the dark side.
Dude, that would be kind of cool though. Like I'm seeing that come up a lot, and that just it's kind of nice.
Oh yeah, there is a Darth Talon fan film, right? I think I've seen it. Talon
cosplays are great, dude.
Yeah. Talon escapes slavery on Tatooine due to her Force powers. Wait, did you send that 3 times, Elijah? Thanks, man. Watch episode 1. May the Force be with you.
Wait, what?
What? All right. We have a horror story. It's in the Clone Wars with the brainworms on Geonosis.
Huh.
What?
Brainworms on Geonosis?
Do you mean the Kuhans? From Coruscant?
I don't know what's going on
I'm
there.
confused, bro.
Yeah, me too.
Charlie, thank you. the Arbeiter gamer. Are you German? Arbeiten? Strange question, but what do you think they did with all of the dead Jedi's lightsabers after Order 66 and all the relics? So this was actually in the canon comic. Vader covered a video on it 3 years ago now.
It's in Catalyst a little too.
Oh yeah. So they basically held a like a performance in front of the Jedi Temple where Masamita had this massive kiln on fire, and he tossed all the lightsabers in there. And finally, the last one that he tossed in was Yoda's, and he tossed it in, and it was a boom, big explosion.
Yeah, they give some of them. They have some of the Jedi lightsaber kyber in the Catalyst novel, and Jyn Erso's dad and his team are like given some of it, and they're like experimenting with it. And I remember somebody makes a comment, it might have even been in his wife, that's like, we know exactly where they got these kybers from, like kind of saying like that they knew they had killed Jedi to take the kyber, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, I think most of it was destroyed in ceremony by Masamita.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Is Rule of Two dead? I like this format a lot more. No, it's not dead, man. I've spoken lots about it, so Mark's just busy. Elijah, thank you. Lord Kid, thank you. John Harris, thank you for being a new member. I think I'm going to upload the episode of Once Upon a Theory for you guys. It's not remastered, but I'm going to upload the full thing for you guys so you can enjoy it for join members only. So,
nice.
What up, Theory? Excuse me, love your show. What up, Iron Nerd? You guys are awesome together. Keep up the great work. What up, Iron Nerd? He says again, always keep it a buck, brother.
Nice. Thank you.
What if the apprentice Maul takes to the dark side is Ezra's apprentice?
Dude, I was thinking that. I was thinking that exact same thing. That would be fantastic.
That's kind of cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Thanks, Rain. Salute. Oh. He says it again. Salute Iron Nerd and Captain Canada. Jessica Henwick said she was turned down for Rey role. Who's that?
Oh, interesting.
I think she would have made Rey more believable. Thoughts? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Jessica. I'm really bad with actors and actresses, so sorry.
Oh, okay.
Don't really know.
I found the child eating everything was not only funny, but a very real thing. Don't eat that is often said by parents with toddlers. Yeah.
True.
And dogs.
Mm-hmm.
What Sith do you think would be the best golfer? I don't know, dude.
Golfer?
Have you heard Star Wars radio drama shows from the original trilogy? If you haven't, it's amazing. I've heard some of them. Yeah.
I've heard about them, but I haven't heard them.
Dude, they go way more into detail than the books or the movies.
That's cool.
Mind-blowing. Like, it's interesting.
That's sweet.
Does anyone know if the realistic Baby Yoda doll's mouth is elastic? I have it sitting right there. You want me to check?
The mouth is elastic? Is that what he's asking about?
Yeah, I don't know. No. It's not.
Nope.
It's not elastic.
Nope.
He's cute, though. He's a cute little guy.
Yeah, man. For sure.
No one could ever replace Chadwick Boseman. I agree. Does anyone... Agree. Yeah. I like turtles. That's nice, man. Thank you so much for telling me that. Appreciate it. Any truth to the rumor of the Qui-Gon project? I didn't know there was one.
I haven't heard anything about that. So as far as I'm concerned, no truth.
Any advice on which store to buy my first realistic lightsaber from? I like Corbinth, so make sure to stay tuned for tomorrow's lightsaber review video. I've got a really nice, cool intro for you. As we unbox Anakin's. Dude, would World Between Worlds is probably the dumbest idea anyone has put into Star Wars, bearing some very obscure EU stuff. I don't think it's the dumbest idea. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah. Or at least the way it was explained, or showed, or portrayed, I just don't think it was the best. I think it
plus it's like, it's not a device that should be used. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's like, it almost is more for fan fictions than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like a gift for us, but it shouldn't be used in the main Star Wars canon.
Right. Would love to see some games tonight. When are you streaming again? I'm just going to stream tonight. We're going to play God of War 4. So make sure you join the gaming channel, Theories Arcade Games. I know, Josh, you have a live stream channel too. Den of Nerds Live.
Yeah, Den of Nerds Live. Normally I stream in the mornings. And do a morning show. They're just talking about a bunch of nerdy things and a little bit of gaming here and there.
Yeah, so I stream every day. More of a late night. Not late night, but nighttime. Does it irritate you that they're announcing and filming other shows instead of fixing the Kenobi series? No, they're probably fixing it. They're just not talking about it. Yeah. Disney put so many Star Wars projects that were rumored or confined on ice or confirmed on ice or scrapped completely. I'm hesitant to accept anything they say.
Yeah, I think that's totally
fair.
Yeah. It's not necessarily a bad stance to take. But I will also tell you that, well, just watch the rest of Mando and then see if you feel the same way. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, we'll see. Why is the lettering on your hat and the books you've shown backwards?
It's not, dude. Unless it is on the stream, is it?
No.
Oh, it is backwards on the stream.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's just Zoom, probably.
It's because of Zoom.
It's the way the window capture came in.
Yeah, because Zoom. I could flip it, but whatever. It's red row, backwards 6, backwards 6.
Yeah, dude, duh. The new hat.
It's the first time we're using Zoom. Usually we do Skype. So which of the Lucas sequels is fake news? Exploring the Wills or Darth Maul and Tannen? Or how ambitious was Lucas sequels, lol?
Right.
Yeah, which one? It's a good question.
I think both. I think both because
this one too?
Yeah, because like, okay, so for instance, like the plot, all George is saying is that like the basic plot, right? But if you have main characters and they're like dealing with the Force, and also we're following Luke, right? As Luke is trying to further explain the Force and try to understand it maybe for his students. And so there's the potential for like Luke to be going into, you know, a lot. Again, what we saw with Yoda sort of at the end of Clone Wars, where he's like doing the Mortis thing and like it's getting real trippy. So like there's potential that like Luke, because I think one of the things that could be interesting is like Luke is just doing his Jedi thing and he's not necessarily helping Leia fight and the Republic fight off all these crazy Imperial remnants, because Luke is just training and doing Jedi things, right? And so you could have like this juxtaposition where Luke is meditating and like learning about the midichlorians and trying to understand deeper like what the midichlorians are and how they communicate to us, all while these other things are going on with like Leia and all of them. So I say why not both?
By the way, this is the Anakin Skywalker hilt.
That is pretty sick, dude.
Yeah, did a full unboxing video. It's filmed. I just gotta edit more of it. It's really nice. It's really nice.
That's nice, dude.
Yeah, I'll do a comparison later between this and the Luke.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
Screen accurate.
Yeah, and then I'm sorry, what's the company again?
Corbinth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting the next saber I get is coming from Corbinth.
All right, they're good, man. Yeah. So this is the Second Sisters sound font, I think.
Whoa, yeah, that's nice.
Font directory not found.
Oh no.
Wait, what? Nice. I want to get one that just does all of the lines that the Trade Federation says in Phantom Menace.
Dude, I was 5 hours last night. I was working with Kyberphonic, who does a lot of the fonts. 5 hours we were programming this thing. And it's a lot of work to program this stuff, but yeah, it's
5 hours?
5 hours, dude. Yeah.
Like,
so
what are you
putting
doing?
different
Just, like,
fonts.
picking out? Okay.
Yeah, it's like programming everything. So it's a program called what was it called? I forgot what it was called. Afi or something. Whatever. And it's for programming droids, robots. Wow.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So you can do anything. You can change like. You guys will see in the review.
That is cool.
Keep him tethered. Keep him waiting.
Yeah. Just like that boba.
Yeah, just like the boba. What kind of character would Sir Patrick Stewart play in Star Wars? New Republic leader, general. It would be awesome if he ever made a cameo.
No, he'd be a Chiss general,
100%.
like Thrawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. At the helm. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Leighton James, thanks, man. If they do an alternative timeline from Episode 7, before Episode 7, how do you think they would treat the fact that Carrie Fisher is no longer with us? Yes, it's tough, but I mean, if they get the blessing of her family and then maybe get her daughter to play the role, and then they just, deep fake the face a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's the move.
I think that's respectable.
I do, too.
Yeah. What if the child becomes a Mando and then him and Din build a sect of Force-powered Mandos? It would also be fitting for the Darksaber to go to him. I don't think he should have the Darksaber.
Maybe? Yeah. No, I don't think so.
I think it should go back to Bo.
Yeah, Bo or maybe Boba. We could see.
That could be cool.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Bo is the rightful one to have it, though.
I have the Vader poster on my wall too. I love it. Oh, you mean from the fan film? That one?
That's pretty nice.
Thanks, man. I still want to see Baby Yoda grow up and get decked out in some Beskar armor. Yeah, he'd be like a Force user Mandalorian.
It would be cool.
Do you think it would be a good idea to just start a new trilogy in 138 ABY and Legends after Darth Krait's War and the creation of the Galactic Federation Triumvirate, Sith infiltrating the government?
Could be. Yeah, something similar. I mean, you can't do that timeline, but you could do something similar.
It'd be cool. I want to see Darth Sion.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. I really want to see Nihilus. I think Nihilus would be a really cool way to go with it.
He's OP, man.
He's super OP, but I mean, think about it. Like, we just had friggin' Palps lightning a whole fleet. You know what I mean? So I think Nihilus could work.
The guy
set up Nihilus.
Freaking eats worlds. Like,
Yes. And he could like siphon off like a Dementor, like suck the Force out of like a Force user or something. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to see.
As if all the happiness in the world went away.
Yeah.
It was dark. The Dementors. Don't forget, Akbar used it in Return of the Jedi before the Endor battle began. Used what? The hyperspace?
Be with us, I guess, is what he said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Palpatine 2024 for a safe and secure society.
Yeah.
Sure. For a safe and secure society. He was talking about the zombie episode of the Clone Wars.
Well, there's a zombie episode of the Clone Wars, but also the dead troopers or the Death Troopers come from a story in Legends where stormtroopers were literally turned into zombies.
What was with the Death Troopers talking in Rebels?
Oh, they can talk.
I know, but like hearing them talking, it's not just like.
Yeah, I don't remember that episode too much, but I know in one of the Thrawn. Isn't it in one of the Thrawn novels? Where they're on a mission and they're working with Death Troopers. He's got Death Troopers with them. And I just remember them, like, they literally took their armor off and looked like they were just, like, civilians and stuff
dudes.
like that. Yeah, but they were still, like, hard as nails, of course.
What about Ultra Sabers? Heard mixed things. Also, good day from Australia. Love watching these streams when I can. Yeah, so I ordered a Ultra Sabers lightsaber from Ultra Sabers for Vader Episode 2, but it never arrived. The customer support was non-existent. It was atrocious. And yeah, that's it for me. I don't need to do that again, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I have a couple Ultra Sabers. The one I really, really like, and the one is more expensive, and I actually don't really like it all that much. So I'm gonna experiment around. I'm gonna check out the one that Theory was talking about. I also got I got a saber that is literally wrapped like a katana. It literally has a katana wrapped. I forget what the company was called. It starts with like a T or something like that. So yeah, there's a ton of people that make sabers. There's independent people that like make their own sabers as well. If you go to cons, you'll meet some of them. If we ever go back to that.
Oh man, I can't wait to go back to a con. Oh yeah. Dude, I want to go back to like Celebrate. I want to go to Celebration 2022, but I don't even know if that's realistic at this point.
Yeah, I think it will be. I mean, yeah, it'll just depend, right? I mean, this new vaccine seems kind of promising. It'll still be quite some time before that goes out. But the thing that's interesting about this vaccine, not to necessarily go down this rabbit hole, but that it's 90% effective, which is really, really high. Like, we would have been happy with a 50% effective vaccine because it's all about cutting off potential outlets for spreading. So,
who said that?
Potentially. That's what the reports are from Pfizer or whatever, the company that's doing it. So hopefully,
you grow a third head.
Yeah, probably. I'm not taking the first batch, but we'll see.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that's my view on Ultra Sabers. So I go with Corbinth. I have a Vader's Vault, also a great saber. So far I've got a lot of Corbinth now. The reviews to come are Leia's Saber, which is actually a beautiful saber by KR Sabers through Corbinth, or actually Corbinth through KR. Anakin, Dooku, Qui-Gon, Vader, I'm forgetting one, Luke. So those are the ones that are in my possession. Well, the Leia one isn't, but those are the ones that are in my possession right now, which I'll be doing reviews on over the coming weeks, which I hope you guys will be, the prequel, like unboxings and all that stuff. So they're really, really crisp hilts. They look really nice. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The thing that upsets me most about the new one I got is it looks great, but in my hand it feels horrible.
It
legit feels horrible.
Ultra Sabers?
It's an Ultra Saber. Yeah. So it's just not a good hilt. It looks great, but yeah, it's really for show. And because I've been trying to get into actual combat, it's like. I can't, not with that.
Yeah, I don't know much about their quality, but I know that the customer service was garbage. So, with my experience, I'm going Corbin's, man. I mean, look how good this looks. Like this is legit, nice. Dude.
Mm-hmm.
You guys will see this all in the review tomorrow. Tomorrow's video. So.
On directory not found.
So that's faulty programming that we did.
Yo.
Yeah.
I want to get one that is double bladed, and when I put out both blades, Newt Gunray says, "This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them."
There's a, you can do that.
That would be
my buddy Kyber Phonic helped me out with it.
Nice.
Like, check out how bright that is, dude.
I mean, that's so nice, dude.
Yeah. And it's like flickering and.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. I'm gonna. Dude, I just bought one today, and I told myself I'm not going to buy any more, but I might have to check out the website just to see.
Yeah, so make sure you guys stay tuned for the video tomorrow. I mean, there's...
All the Jedi. Something.
No, go away.
No, dude, that's your lady, man.
No.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker.
But you are not a Jedi.
But you are not a Jedi yet.
No! I'll never join you.
That's not true. Yo, you ever seen the robot chicken of that scene?
I think so.
Where he's like, "That's not true. That's unprobable."
Oh, wait, this is the. I think this is a hyperspace one.
The Force is with you.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, that was kind of cool.
Is it? No. This is not the hyperspace one. There's a cool... Dude, the coolest one on here that I'll have on the review for you guys tomorrow is the Tusken Raider one from Anakin Episode 2. It is, like, I'm, like, spinning it and clashing and stuff, and, like, Tuskens are dying. They're like...
That's awesome,
It's
dude.
mind-blowing.
Oh, my God.
Right here. And you guys will see that tomorrow.
You're just slaying through Tuskens.
It was
That's
insane.
awesome.
My reaction was like, "What the hell is this?" And there's a cool one with Obi-Wan versus Jango on Kamino, where like the lights are actually the rain's hitting the lightsaber, so it's like, yeah, it's really neat.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
nice.
yeah. Make sure you guys sub to the gaming channel because I'm gonna be doing lots of POV with my GoPro, running through forests and stuff, being an idiot. So
that's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, it'll be cool. Cool thing. And it's snowing now, so I'm gonna go up the mountain, and they're gonna be like, "What are you doing here up the mountain with this?" And I'll be like,
"It's treason, then."
Run away. Yeah, run into the forest. It's snowing. Slip. Fall. Ah! About Sith, Star Wars movie or TV series, I think it's definitely must be Darth Bane's story. It would be perfect start for Old Republic cinematic universe. Because of his story, you could easily sympathize him.
Yeah, I think Bane is a coming, ladies and gentlemen. I think Bane is a coming.
Play him?
Ooh, good question.
My man Henry Cav.
I don't know if he's right for Bane.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy could do it.
I could see it. The more I marinate on it.
Yeah, Tom Hardy could be great. I don't know, dude. Get The Rock. Literally just do it. Just put a saber in The Rock. The Rock's hands, dude. That'd be great.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not him, yeah.
Which saber form would you pick? Form 5 for me? Probably Form 5. Yeah. Yeah, but DMSO. Yeah. Yeah. That variation.
I don't know much about the saber forms. I want to learn more. I want to learn more about them. Are they based on actual martial arts?
Yeah, there's a lot of inspiration pulled from them. I'd need to do more research on it to know which forms in particular, but yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty neat. The 7th form is like the most aggressive and acrobatic, which is the form Darth Maul used, and Mace Windu used a variation of it, which he created called Vapod.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I wanted to look into that and see, because I know there's some kendo, there's some aikido, there's like different things that are going on. Yeah. You know, it's funny, before Dooku in Attack of the Clones, I remember my father's martial arts teacher was talking about the curved sword, the curved saber that was going to be in there, because in the art that we studied, that was a big thing. But the thing that's funny is the ones we have, the hook's on the other end. So you're fighting with like the hook on the other end, so that you can get around, you know what I mean, and do stuff like that.
Okay.
But I guess they couldn't figure that out with the saber, so they just flipped it.
Yeah.
But either way, like I just remember because we had like some curved sticks like that were used. It was kind of interesting.
I just got Dooku's today. I haven't. It's still in the box. I haven't even opened the box yet. I can't wait to film it.
Love the design. I just love. It's so like fencing, like rapier, like kind of different. Yeah, I really love it.
Yeah,
I really love it.
Yeah, and Qui-Gon's is probably my favorite. I'd say Qui-Gon and Sidious. Qui-Gon's is the other one that I haven't opened.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Because it's like so tiny and like compact
and weird looking, but I have Sidious's master replicas one signed by Ian McDermott in the closet right here. But
nice.
It's on a dueling one, of course.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, dude, he signed "Do It" on it. It's pretty neat.
That's pretty chill.
Guys, I need a vote. Okay, so tomorrow's video is going to be about Anakin's lightsaber, but after that, what do you want to see? So type 1 for Vader, Empire Strikes Back. Type 2 for Luke, Empire Strikes Back. Type 3 for Dooku, Episode 2. Type 4 for Qui-Gon. And what am I missing here? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So let me know.
My vote in.
What's your vote?
3.
Dukes?
I want to see Dukes, dude.
Yeah, Dukes is pretty cool.
I want to see the Dukes. Yeah, he's pretty awesome, man. I would have loved to see more of that character explored too.
Yeah, I mean, they did in the books, but I mean, they should do it more so in the actual movies.
Yeah, the books did a good job of it, but it's pretty crazy him, because he never like really loses the name count. Like he still like sort of holds that power. So he must have always been a little unorthodox within the Jedi, right?
Yeah, dude, are you looking at chat right now? Jesus, I don't even know what the hell. Like, what?
Yeah, it's a lot of numbers.
God, that's a lot of numbers. I see a lot of 4.
Yeah, I see
a lot of Qui-Gon.
Well, now all of a sudden a lot of 3s, but yeah, it looks like
a lot of 4.
I don't know. It's too hard to.
It's very mixed. Yeah, it's very mixed. So, oh well. Yeah. You'll see them all eventually.
Yeah.
What do you think about the show and about the how Fiverr first transitioned to the Empire under Vader? Yeah, that'd be a great show.
Yeah.
All about clones.
100%.
Do you have an interest in the Chiss ascendancy? Would love to see Ezra and Thrawn rescued by them. Maybe even a Chiss series. Keep up the great work. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Written by Timothy Zahn.
Please. Yeah, dude. Please.
Who wins, Vader and Superman or Palpatine and Electro? Vader. 100%.
Vader and Superman.
Oh, sorry. Vader and Superman together?
Versus
Against
who?
Palpatine and Electro?
Why is Electro in there at all?
Because of lightning, I guess. Why not Thor?
Oh, yeah. Nah.
Well,
if anything, it'd be Storm. Like, Storm could bring that pain.
Do you think Storm would beat up Thor?
Yeah. Well, okay, that's tough. That's actually pretty tough. It would
We should probably do a video on that.
Yeah, would Storm beat up Thor? Well, I don't know. Storm's pretty freaking strong, but so is Thor, obviously. Thor is like so strong in the comics that I'd probably have to give it to him in the comics. It would depend in the movies, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he's a god. Can't really kill him.
Yeah, well, you can kill him, but I think they'd like resurrect. Well, it depends on the comic, but yeah, they can die. Thor, the Asgardians can totally die because there's like an afterlife for them and stuff too.
Right. Well, I guess Thanos killed. Well, he's not Asgardian, so.
Thanos killed a bunch of them though.
Yeah.
Killed half of them. That's another thing that people don't talk about that's so messed up is like he was killing half of, like, even when he was doing like the war stuff, like, so at the beginning of Infinity War he kills half those Asgardians, but then he does the snap, so they're technically getting 75% of them.
Yeah.
Gone. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like nobody talks about that.
Yeah, I guess he just hated them.
Yeah, or he's just not good at math.
Didn't he have like very bulletproof skin?
Oh yeah, dude, his skin is super hard to penetrate. That's why the Iron Man can only get a drop of blood out of him. Yeah, he's a
I wish they didn't do the time thing.
The time thing was weird, but I like Endgame quite a bit. I always say though, I think Infinity War is a much better total movie. It's a much more clean movie, but Endgame is a much better ending to the whole thing. So
what's with Hulk not appearing, man? Stupid Professor Hulk. Like, what? It's literally just Bruce Banner. Come on.
Yeah, a lot of people have that opinion as well, and I like Savage Hulk. I want Hulk to go back to being Savage. So I
Ragnarok
hope that
Hulk.
Yeah, like exactly. So I hope we get back to that. But I don't know. We'll just have to see.
They would have just ruined one of the best characters if they don't take him back.
I agree. But then maybe they'll do Red Hulk, and we'll have Red Hulk instead.
You should both start a Star Wars tabletop RPG campaign like Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, I was gonna play Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah, if you do get on there, let me know. I would run a campaign with you on Baldur's Gate. That could be fun.
Apparently the graphics look real nice, right?
Oh my god, yeah. The graphics are nuts. I will say this to that question too. I was actually gonna try to get Theory to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
I really want to get into it. Yeah. It
yeah,
just seems
really,
like something
really fun.
I'd love.
Yeah, they're really, really fun, man. They're
okay.
Really, really fun.
Let's do it. Take me under your wing.
Yeah. We shall do it.
Just want to say I started coming here for Theory, but I'm now an avid Den of Nerds fan. Nice.
Oh, thanks, man.
Nice, Andrew. Awesome.
Nice.
Glad to see that. I might be wrong, but there are no Mandalorians in the sequel trilogy, right? Why, lol?
None that we see.
You're right. A lot of people thought Zori Bliss was a Mandalorian. I'm like, no.
No. But she is awesome looking.
Favorite lightsaber hilt and why? Mine's Leia. Oh, then you're gonna love that review in a few weeks. Probably Sidious or Qui-Gon. Are you still selling the 66 hats? I tried to get one on the website, was down, and I love them hats. So they were sold out for a little bit, but I mean, they're should be back up.
Dope. Yeah, those hats are great.
Yeah, they're cool. I'm just not a fan of this like mesh stuff that they do. So I want them to, come up with a new option of. I'm just kind of limited to what Teespring creates. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think they got 3 different designs.
Yeah,
now.
but even the other design is like, What is it like? I don't know. I'm trying to find something. It's not. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really
interested to see them because I just ordered some for us too. So I'm interested to see what they're like.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I want to send you some stuff. By the way, I said that a while ago.
You guys send me. I want that's actually you were telling me. I want the yellow one of the 66. I think that. I think that'd be kind of
the pure
clean,
yellow one.
dude.
So this is not. This is just like the yellow and black.
Oh, okay. Do you have a pure yellow though?
I do. Yeah.
Dude, that would be kind of my thing. Because sometimes, like every once in a while, I just like wearing something really loud, like just really loud and ridiculous.
Yeah, it's somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. I'm messing with this light one, this white one right now, silver one. Looks pretty crisp.
Nice.
Except right now it's reversed for you guys. I bought 3 from Ultra Sabers. All arrived here, San Francisco from Texas within less than a week. All fantastic, never any problems. I'm glad you had a good experience with them, dude. Yeah. That's probably why they're one of the most successful Saber sellers, I think.
Yeah, they do a lot of business, so.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate that I had a bad experience because I ordered like 6 from Corbinth, so.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes that happens, dude. You know, that's one of those things where, because I've had a bad experience with a certain printing company that a lot of people have had good experiences with, and they ruined some shirts for me that were like for a really important thing. And I'll literally never work with them again. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, it just is what it is.
Some stuff like that, I'd actually lose money just to not work with. Like EB Games. Like, I would not get a PS5 if they're selling, let's say they're like, hey, you know what? We got 1 million PS5s right here for you for $1. I'd be like, nope. Just out of the principle. Like, no. But that's the kind of dude I am. It's kind of stupid, but.
Well, I think a lot of people are like that in their own ways, though. And that's why companies need to just, as much as they can, try not to screw up like that, you know?
Yeah, don't piss people off. Because they're your customers, right? Like, we're paying your bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think they'll ever do a series on the Wookiees? Maybe something about the aftermath of the droid attack? I think they'll work Wookiees in there like they did with Fallen Order. But I don't think we'll get a full-on show about Wookiees. Is there an Anakin killing younglings sound option on the Saber theory? No, but we can put one in there.
Yeah, we can make something.
Hey, Theory and Josh, love the collab with your channels. Keep up the great work. Oh, thanks, Keaton. Are you streaming tonight? Or no, you're done after this because you're 3 hours ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm done after this.
Okay.
I might work a little on my D&D stuff. Just
okay.
Out a little.
I'll wrap it up. I really wanted a Jedi Temple Guard one from Ultra Sabers, but reconsidering after your experience. Yeah, I mean, Zach said he had a great experience, so... Look, I've had nothing but good stuff to say about Corbinth. Vader's Vault has been great. Vader's Vault just took literally like 7 months to get to me. So 6 months. I mean, so it is, you know, it's great, but I want it now, right? I don't have to wait. So yeah, for me, Corbinth is my guy right now. Gonna have to start saving for the Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker saber from Corbinth, by far my favorite lightsaber in all of Star Wars. Yeah, that's the next one I want on my list. So maybe like December or something, I'll get that.
Nice.
How about a cop-style show with Dave Filoni patrolling the skies in his X?
Why not, dude? Why not?
You know what? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Do you think Beskar is stronger than Vibranium? This was a debate my brother and I had last night.
No, dude, Vibranium's way stronger. I think.
You think?
Yeah, because like Beskar's really strong and it can take like all those blaster bolts and stuff like that. But Vibranium is like, it's strong and it's kind of like magical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can literally like fuel engines with Vibranium.
Yeah, I guess. Do you think Adamantium could destroy Vibranium?
Adamantium and Vibranium that's like a big Marvel debate. I still think Vibranium wins, but Adamantium is quite strong.
Let's say Logan was going to go up to something made of Vibranium and just hack and slash.
Yeah, I think they've actually done that before, right? I don't think he can get through Vibranium because he can't get through Cap's shield. But I think in the comics, Cap's shield is Vibranium and Adamantium. But I'm not 100%.
Why the hell did his shield break against Thanos then, dude?
Because Thanos is just a friggin' boss. Dude.
What was his blade made out of?
I mean, that blade is probably made out of like similar material to Thor's stuff, right? So it's either like Uru
Ancient
or
stuff, yeah.
like dark steel or something, and it's also probably magical.
Yeah.
And yeah,
that makes sense.
Had some magic going on too.
Hey guys, love the show. Have you thought about putting this on Apple Podcasts? It'd be sick. Yeah, so I'm actually working on that right now. So
Dope.
Stay tuned. Yeah, lots of. I hate when people say, "Yeah, big stuff coming," but yeah, actually, yeah, a lot of stuff coming. So.
Well, guess what? I don't hate it, and I say it way too much on my channel.
Do you?
So I'll say it again here. Lots of stuff coming, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your butts.
No, I think I just hate it when people who really don't have jack she coming, and they're just like, yeah, hustling, grinding, like big stuff coming. It's like, dude, shut up.
Right, just show me. Yeah.
All right, got my Obi-Wan hats, and it's Treason Then shirt a few weeks back. Love them, my dude. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. It's not an Obi-Wan hat. It's an Obi hat. Literally O and B.
Yeah, guys. God.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Embarrassing.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you even doing? Do you even Star Wars?
Thanos is a thick grape. Vibranium absorbs vibrations, not heat, so vibranium beats adamantium, but lightsaber beats vibranium.
Interesting.
You should make a video on this, Josh.
Yeah, I should make a video on this.
Write this down.
I'm gonna get real sweaty. Yeah, right.
Just like everyone else.
Yep.
God damn it. All right, guys, we had a great show. Josh, you want to add anything else? I mean,
no, man. I just love. Look, I'm just really happy that people are responding positively to the podcast. I think
they love
Star Wars is
just grows more and more every week. Like what we had 4,300 or something. Like what the hell? Live? That's crazy, man.
It's crazy, dude. Yeah, and I think that as Star Wars is doing much better now, that's kind of really nice because people are more positive on it. And look, we were able to touch on a very crazy story tonight without being overtly negative in the way that I think some other channels would. So I really do think that there's something really cool happening with this podcast, and I'm just very blessed and grateful to be a part of it. So I want to thank you, Theory. I also want to thank Mark.
I want to thank you, man. If it wasn't for Mark.
True. If it wasn't for Mark, we would have never linked up. Just thank you and thank Mark and thank the fans and thank the Force and thank the creator. And things are good, man.
Thank George Lucas and Lucasfilm. Yeah, dude. Already over 110,000 people have watched this episode.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Which we'll update over the next few days. But yeah, that's pretty wild, man. That's pretty cool. That's not bad.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Getting off to my own brew here, so I'm gonna stop doing that because I hate when people do that. Wait, what? We say Alex. He says, "Big sorry, dude. Auto corrected to Obi-Wan." It's all good, man. I appreciate you. Yeah. All right, guys, we love you. Go to the gaming channel. I will be streaming in about an hour with the community there, and go to Josh's gaming channel. Live stream channel, and we also have breakdowns. Josh has a breakdown every Mando episode, literally as it comes out. So,
oh yes.
All right, are we gonna figure out an outro?
We will eventually figure out an outro. Yeah.
All right, see you guys later.